Good afternoon to all of our attendees that are here.
So right now we have 51, 52, 53, 55 attendees at the moment. And before we begin the process, we have to remember we have here our we also have Miss Robbie Balocan. Right now we also have Miss Bea Beladas, who is also. And lastly, we have Miss Rosalind Simbahan. And for the JCI members, we have Miss Maria Paula Lin. Welcome to the first ever project of the Deuteronomy Drive Towards Self-Care Organization, or the DB, titled Mind Called Coping with Academic Stress in Times of Conflict. Let us start our program with a prayer led by members. Again, let us first start our event with a prayer from the
Let's bow our heads and place ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for gathering all of us today in this important event. May you bestow your guidance and blessings on this event so that we can enjoy and appreciate its significance in our lives. Bless everyone present today that each may be able to share what she or he has for your glory and honor. Grant good health, safety, peace, and goodwill to all men. May the various activities related to this event be a success through your intervention. We ask all of this in your name. Amen.
Thank you for the prayer. And for the opening speech, let us call Franz de Villa, the Secretary of BDPS and also the MC of this event.
So, good afternoon again, everyone. This project, as I said, is the very first project of the Deuteronomy Drive Towards Self-Care Organization. This is the result of the collective effort of the Great Job Deuteronomy STEM students from UNIDA Christian Colleges. In partnership with two impeccable organizations, the CINAG DIWA and JCI, I am proudly presenting the start of the Mindcology, Coping from Academic Stress in Times of Remote Learning. I hope that you guys enjoy and learn a lot from this event. Thank you.
Okay, now that our program has officially started, let us present to you a song that will set the mood for the whole event. We will be hearing one of the members of BDPS sing the song Invisible by Hunter Hayes. Please welcome Michael Francis Day.
Okay, there seems to be a delay for that. So let's move on. And let's move on for our first speaker. My partner will introduce her.
Okay, for our first speaker, she is a psychology graduate in Cavite State University and is now working as an educator in UNIDA Christian Colleges. Let us all welcome Miss Bea Patricia Balados.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, first of all, I have three requests. Okay, number one, I wanted to view all of your faces. So, please come on, turn on your cameras. No? Next, second, I wanted you to lend me your ears throughout this whole event. No, you just need to listen. And lastly, third, I want you to be yourself and freely no, answer the questions when you are asked. Okay? Is that okay?
Ma'am, let me just add some few reminders for our viewers.
Okay.
So
Sure.
you need to listen carefully to what Ms. Beladas has to say, because after her speech, we will be having a question and answer portion with prizes. So you need to listen carefully. That's all. Thank you.
Okay. So I will be starting this topic with a video. So I'll be presenting. Can you now see my presentation? I want to see a thumbs up. Okay, so thank you. Again, greetings from everyone who are in this meeting, online meeting. It was so nice to see 55 persons that is present. I hope that you will keep all of your hopes, and what is your what are you looking forward the most for this morning? So let's start with this video. Question first. Can you hear the video? Yes? No, not yet. Wait, let me try. Sige, wait lang. Let me fix the sound first. Kumain na ba kayo ng lunch? Students? Audience?
Yes po, ma'am.
Nakain po ngayon.
Po, ma'am.
Sige lang. Feel free to eat while we're having this webinar. Wait lang ha. Ayusin natin ang sounds. Sayang naman ang video kapag di natin narinig ang sounds. Wait lang. Fix natin saglit. So the video is supposed to present to you what is the life during the COVID-19. Yes, kumain na ako. Busog na busog. Wait lang ha. Isama ka, please. Yeah, let's try. Sound. Sige, kung walang sound, let's still play the video since may caption naman siya. watch na lang natin muna. So, pinapakita dyan sa video na he is trying to find and do what are those things na gusto niyang gawin before. But, ayan, hindi makakain, hindi makainom. Okay. So, dun sa video na napanood nyo, it talk about the life during the pandemic. No, yung ECQ, MGCQ, no, ano ba yung mga emotions na nararamdaman natin during those times? Ikaw, magtatawag ako ha. Kamusta kayo during the pandemic? Harvey, Bisnar.
Hello po.
Hello. Harvey, kamusta ka nung pandemic?
Medyo stress po sa nangyayari tapos po sa new online learning platform. Kasi po first time.
Yes, okay. So, thank you, Harvey. So, in relation to that video, no, stress, kita niyo yung lalaki paikot-ikot ng bahay, hindi alam yung gagawin, kung ano ba, tutugtog ba ako ng piano, o magbabasa, maliligo ba ako, o ayoko na. Diba? Next. So, yan. Tanong ko ngayon, kamusta ka? Kaya mo pa ba? No, dun sa mga go pa, up pa for this discussion, raise your hand. Both of your hand. Wave. Come on. Wave. Yan. Okay. Drop your hands. So, show me your biggest smile. Yon. Okay. Thank you. So, kamusta ba kayo? Kaya nyo pa ba? No, in relation to the new online classes, new normal, di ba? So, for this discussion, our topic is all about mental health talk. So, I am again Miss Bea Patricia Veladas. So, hashtag be amazing today. So, before we go on to our discussions, let me just show you what are our topic or hashtag talk goals. Itong 5, yung mga madadaanan nating discussions, no, before we end. Number 1, we have define mental health. Number 2, be able to understand one's own mental health. Number 3, be able to identify the most prevalent mental health illnesses in the Philippines among teens. When we say most prevalent, ano ba yung pinaka sikat or pinaka major mental health illness that the teens have? Diba? Number 4, be able to demonstrate ways to stop mental health stigma. Number 5, be able to synthesize good mental health practices during new normal. Ayan, kanina tinanong ko kayo, kamusta ka? Kaya mo pa ba? Ngayon naman, ask yourself, pagod ka na ba, self? I want to see your hand. Sino pagod na? Itaas ang buong dalawang kamay. Woo! Pagod na ako. Yes, diba? So, may picture dito. Sabi niya dyan, si Kermit the Frog, exhausted, just exhausted. I'm too exhausted, no? So, during this talk, I will help, no, kahit konting-konti, no, ma-release natin yung pagod, yung stress, yung nasa loob natin, no? Kasi, it is important that we share our thoughts. Okay? So, umaasa ako na marami pang mag-share during our discussion. So, first Topic, mental health. Discuss. According to World Health Organization, mental health is defined as state of well-being in which every individual realizes his or her own potential. Number one, you know your potential. Number two, can cope with the normal stresses. Of course, we all undergo and experience stresses of life. Number three, can work productively. O, bakit may word na productively dyan? Kailangan magpapakinabangan tayo. Kailangan gumalaw tayo at may natatapos tayo at the end of the day. Dapat may achievement. And fruitfully, and is able to make contribution to his or her community. Sabi dyan, mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Mental health affects how we think, feel, and act. So, pinaka-important term dyan, mental health is important at every stage of life. From birth man yan, childhood man yan, adolescence until adulthood. Okay? So, to further discuss mental health, here are some facts and myths of mental health. Under myths, or ito yung mga kuro-kuro, no, mga haka-haka about mental health. Number one, mental illnesses are not real illnesses. So, sino dito familiar dun sa sinabi ni Mr. Joey De Leon na term na depression ay gawa-gawa lang ng tao, no? 'Di ba? Nabash siya doon, no? Because it's a real illness, no? Hindi siya gawa-gawa lang para lang may magpapansin or dahil lang hindi ako nakausap ni ganyan. No, hindi. No, it's real illnesses. At hindi natin dapat gagamitin yung term na to na meron kang mental illness na meron kang mental illness just because kailangan mo lang ng attention. No, hindi siya ganun. It's more than that. Number two, mental illness will never affect me. No, that's very not true. No, why? Di ba nga mga superhero, si Superman, meron niyang saan siya nanghihina or saan siya merong kakulangan, di ba? Kryptonite, tama ba, boys?
Yes
Di ba?
po.
So, tayo pa kaya
Yes po,
na
ma'am.
human being? Okay, thank you sa mga sumagot. Tayo pa kaya na human being, di ba? No, it will surely affect us. And itong types of mental illnesses, they're just there, no, present, ready to be activated by some event, pwedeng traumatic event, or words that the people will tell us na, shucks, ganun ba yun, ha? So, that's number two. Number three, mental illnesses are just an excuse for poor behavior. So, in relation kay number one, di ba? No, huwag niyong gagawin yan, ha? So, it's not an excuse. No, mental illnesses is true and people are suffering from that. Number four, bad parenting cause mental illnesses. No, hindi lahat. Okay. So, every one of us has different coping mechanisms, di ba? So, hindi porke, ay, ganito yun ng bata kaya nagkaganyan yan. No. Huwag niyong gagamitin yung ganong mga terms, no, in labeling such person na nakakaranas ng mental illnesses. Number five, people with mental illnesses are violent and dangerous. No, nilalahat nyo naman, grabe kayo. Porque ba, nalaman mo na, ay, grabe, pag sinabing schizophrenia, no, shucks, huwag kayong lalapit dyan. Baka ablutin yung gamit nyo and everything. No? Hindi. No, wag nating lalahatin and wag nating lilabelan as dangerous and violent. Okay? So, along this discussion, madidiscuss natin yung ano ba yung mga types of mental illnesses. Okay? Number 6. People don't recover from mental illnesses. That's wrong. Why? Ang dami. Pwede kang magpa-therapy, mag cognitive behavior therapy, inom ka ng mga medications such as antidepressants and so on. Yeah, yes, diba? So, that's wrong si number 6. Number 7, people who experience mental illnesses are weak and can't handle stress. Paano naging myth to, ma'am? No, people who experience mental illnesses are weak and can't handle stress. Ano sa tingin nyo? Si Mark, Lawrence, may I see your May I hear your opinion, idea? Yan, ngayon na siya nag-on ng camera. Go.
Ma'am, paulit nga po yung tanong. Saan po?
Paano nasabing myth ang mga taong may mental illness is weak and can't handle stress? Ba't siya myth or haka-haka lang? Number 7.
Ano, ma'am? Wait lang. No. Paano ba to? Wait lang. Na-stress ako bigla.
Sige. Take time. Other audience. How about Charles Tolentino? Patawagin kita ulit, Mark, ha? Charles? Nag-left siya ng meeting. So, sige, hindi na ako magtatanong muna, ha? Matakot kayo sa akin, but sige. So, alam nyo, actually, people who experience mental illnesses are actually strong in terms dun sa stress. They can handle their stress, eh. No, kaya nga, na live in na lang sa kanila yan. No, sometimes, meron man talagang mga pagkakataon na it goes out of their control. Diba? Ganun is example. Yung mga merong kalimutan term. It's not that they're weak. No. Siyempre tayo lahat, mga tao, meron tayong mga limitations, right? Until when, diba? So, the number 7 is not true because not all people who has mental illnesses are weak and can't live with their stresses. Last, depression is part of aging. No, hindi. Hindi porque 30 ka na, you can have depression, diba? Or 60, kasi retired na, ganito ganyan, wala ng trabaho, lahat na nasa abroad yung family no. So, depression, lahat pwedeng madamay. All ages, all genders, no? And later, madidiscuss natin more of depression. So, those are the myths. If you have questions, reserve nyo muna yan until we reach the end of the slide. So, facts. Here are the facts. Number 1, mental disorders in adolescents are common. No, common because andyan yung stage na may introduce si substance, may introduce yung liquor, andyan ang college, andyan si stress, no? And it's very common, no, na adolescents would get somehow, no? Yung talagang, andyan yung mapupuno ka na sa loads ng work, andyan na yung mapupuno ka ng loads sa school stuffs. Diba? That's why it's common. Number 2, most prevalent mental disorder experienced by adolescent is depression. So, in support kay number 1 fact, depression is the most prevalent mental disorder common in adolescents. No, di ba, lalo na this online classes. Online classes, andyan yung balita na sa Pangasinan, ang dami nag-suicide from senior high school or from grade 9. Ganon din kay Bicol, di ba? Bakit? Bakit kaya? So we're going to discuss more of that. Number 3, many effective treatments exist for mental disorders. Tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, right? So some are a bit pricey, some are, ganun. Okay lang naman, but the good news is, meron itong treatment. Meron tayong pwedeng magawa. Meron tayong pwedeng ma-help, matulong. Okay? Number 4, the majority of adolescents with mental disorder do not seek out professional help. Oh, majority daw. Tama ba yon, adolescent? No, ang daming merong depression, but hindi nila kinukwento, hindi sila nagsasabi. They choose to be silent about it. Why? Kasi baka mamaya ayawan ako, layuan ako, imbis na makatulong sa akin. Nalilabellan tayo na, imo naman yan, imbalance, ganyan. No. You should not. Pinagtatawanan, yes, sabihin, baka downtime mo lang ngayon. Diba, sad boy? No. So you should seek help. You should seek professional help. Okay, number 5, ito. There's a stigma about mental disorder in the Philippines. Yung term na nga lang na baliw, di ba? Laging nagagamit. Baliw sa pag-ibig, baliw pagtawa ng tawa, masayang masaya. Bakit bawal bang maging masaya? Bawal bang magmahal? Di ba? Yung ganun. So, that's very sad. Next. When will you know that there is something wrong within you? Napapansin niyo ba yun sa sarili niyo? Parang, shucks, may mali na. Or hindi na tama to. How about Chamberlain? Na-experience mo na ba yun? Or nasabi na, may mali sa akin eh. Paano?
Yes.
Kailan mo kaya na-experience? Can you share? Kahit, konti lang.
Ano siya, nung medyo matagal na siya. Tapos, wait.
Sige. Go lang.
About po yun siguro sa utak ko lang, ganun. Kasi minsan may mga naiisip ako, hindi na tama, tapos masasabi ko, mali yun. Mali na isipin ko yun. Yung ganun po.
Okay. So, thank you, Chamberlain. So, when you will know, share ko lang, no? 3 days before this discussion, doon pa lang ako gagawa. Doon pa lang ako mag-formulate what should I share with you guys. And then, there's too many workloads, diba? And then, pag-uwi ko sa bahay, nanginginig lang talaga. Shucks, gusto ko nang sumabog, gusto ko nang umiyak. And then, yun na, sabi ko, mali na pinipigilan ko yung sarili ko na ma-feel yung dapat ma-feel, diba? If natatakot ka, go. Sabihin mo, natatakot ka, ramdamin mo. And then, dun ka palang gagawa ng way. Paano tayo magiging okay? So, when you will know that there's something wrong within you, una, tigit sa lahat, kailangan mong i-acknowledge that there is something wrong within you. And then, malalaman mo bakit. Ang tao, naasahan tayo na mag-function physically, diba? Mentally, socially, psychologically. Diba? Kapag isa doon ay may problema, we will not function well. Like for example, may sakit ka, physically, di ba? Madadamay at madadamay si psychological. Bakit? Like, ano, kunyari may cancer. Cancer, di ba? Siyempre alam natin cancer is deadly sa illness, di ba? Hindi mawawala yung magsa-second thoughts kayo. Ano ba, mamamatay na ba ako? Okay pa kaya ako? Ilang months na lang ba nakataning sa akin? Ganyan. Di ba? Kapag naman, in terms sa kotse, di ba? Kailangan may gulong, mayroong fuel yan, may machine, di ba? Kapag wala isa doon, halimbawa, walang gulong, may manibela, okay yung machine. Di ba, hindi ka din naman aandar, hindi siya magpo-function. So, ganun din sa tao. Kapag ayos ang katawan mo, ang ganda mo, sexy ka, matalino ka, but psychologically, there's lacking within you, you will not function well. You will not be the best version of yourself. Di ba? Kasi nga, there's lacking. Okay? So, next, mental health awareness. So, we will discuss mental health awareness through this phrase. Sabi dyan, getting the right awareness for your mental health is as important as having your first meal of the day. No? Ano ba mangyayari kapag hindi tayo kumain ng agahan or nag-fasting tayo full day? Anong mangyayari? Miss Maria Joanne, ikaw. Joanne. Parang ano lang nung classroom recitation.
Ma'am, ako po, ma'am.
Sige, sure.
Ma'am, ano po, hindi po tayo magpa-function ng maayos sa buong araw. Like, hindi natin magagawa yung mga gusto natin kapag hindi tayo nakapag-umagahan. Parang kulang-kulang tayo, ma'am. Hindi natin magagawa yung mga bagay na gusto natin. Parang mahina tayo, ma'am. Kulang-kulang, ma'am.
Thank you, Jason. So, ganun, di ba? Wala kang energy, nanlalambot ka, nanglalamya ka. Ganun din kapag wala tayong pakialam sa mental health natin. No, para tayong zombie na lakad lang ng lakad, atak lang ng atak pag may gumalaw na bagay dyan or tao. No, sabi dyan, mind your mind. No, wag na muna yung love life, wag na muna yung crush mo, wag na muna yung ibang tao. Ikaw muna. Lahin mo yung sarili mo. Boom. Hindi. Yun nga, kailangan Bakit? Pag ikaw ba, hindi ka okay, meron bang lalapit dyan sa'yo agad para magtanong, uy, okay ka lang, gusto mo pag-usap. Diba? Kailangan start within yourself. Okay. Kaya tumatawa. Yon. Hindi ako nagagalit ha. Ano lang. Next, eto na. Ito yung masaklap. Doon man tayo sa good part. Mental health awareness in the Philippines. Ano na ba yung estado o level ng ating mental health dito sa Pilipinas? So, last June 21, 2018, President Rodrigo Duterte signed the Philippines' first Mental Health Act. Kalain mo yun, ng 2018 lang, naisulong ang first Mental Health Act. Republic Act number 11036. This act seeks to establish access, comprehensive and integrated mental health services while protecting the rights of people with mental disorders and their family members. So, ito yung nagbibigay protection sa kanila. No, ito yung mental health for all. Dapat may facilities, dapat maayos yung count per psychiatrist per person. No, ganun yung ideal. However, sabi diyan, mental health remains poorly sourced. Only 3 to 5% of the total health budget is spent on mental health, and 30 of this is spent only sa hospital care or dun sa mga infrastructure or dun sa mga general hospital care, diba? Than the mental health, which is hindi dapat, diba? No, kaya yung mga nag-a-aspire dyan tumakbo, maging politicians, diba? Baka naman. Diba? Mental health is important. Paano tayo magiging successful na student if magaling ka sa harap ng klase mo, pero durog na durog ka na pala. Paggabi, iyak na iyak ka na, ayaw mo na. No, yung lumalaban ka na lang para sa iba kasi ang hirap nun, di ba? So, mental health is very important. Always check yourself. Next, on October 10, 2020, Philippine World Health Organization Special Initiative for Mental Health, they conducted early 2020 research. And it shows that 3.6 million Filipinos suffer from one kind of mental or neurological and substance use disorder, namely schizophrenia, then the drug abuse or liquor, then PTSD, and then depression. Okay. Bakit? Bakit kaya ang dami? 3.6 million Filipinos. Number 1, for PTSD. Makikinig kayo ha, mamaya may question and answer. Bonggang prize. Bonggang prize. PTSD. Bakit kaya? Alam mo kasi, sa Pilipinas, di ba, tayo ay lugar na babagyuhin, tayo napapalibutan ng tubig. So, under nung post-traumatic stress disorder, is yung mga tao na nakaranas nun. Like, last na merong bagyo, di ba? Or, malakas lang na ulan, baha agad, lampas ng bubong, di ba? Paano ka ba naman matutuwa pa nun? Woo! Buhay pa ako, ganon. Di ba, paano? Di ba? Of course, they become traumatized about what happened. And then, next is the substance abuse or neurological disorder, substance use disorder, rather. Pinaka talamak sa atin, yung drugs, di ba? And yung kalakalan ng shabu. Yan. Ang daming mga adolescents, adults na nasa rehab because of drug abuse or substance disorder. Then, last, yung kay depression. Kasi, why? Ang daming adolescents na that became depressed, lalo ngayon, new normal. Why? Ang hirap maging ikaw, right? Lalo kapag feeling mo nakakulong ka. Sino naranasan yung ganun? Ako lang ba? Diba? Parang, lalo kapag ang personality mo, party animal ka, yung parang, yan, saya-saya kapag meron ako nakikita mga tao, kahit di ko kilala, kahit hindi ako pinapansin, basta madaming tao. Yung ganun. Kanina lang, namalengke ako sobrang tonto ako. Akala niyo, lagi ko nakikita yung mga students online. But, asan yung connection doon, di ba? Parang, ang hirap mag-function well. Di ba? Next, in Philippines, 3.3 million Filipinos live with depressive orders. Ito, suicide rate. Male, 2.5, and female is 1.7 per 100 persons. According to Department of Health. Bakit mas madami at prone sa suicide ang male than females? No? Bakit kaya?
Sa tingin ko po is dahil po sa ibang social norm na nag-describe as male as dapat strong. So, pag magvo-voice out ka ng feelings mo is parang kino-consider ka na weak and kapag pahina ng damdamin mo and forcing you into some suicidal thoughts and eventually suicide at worst.
Yes, thank you, Mark. That's very correct. How about Marco? Sige, Marco, I want to hear your voice and your answer.
Ano po, parang ganoon din po sinabi niya parang mas malakas po yung stigma sa mga lalaki po.
Yes,
Kasi
mas
po
malakas
dati
yung
mga
stigma
malalakas
because
ganun.
dapat malakas.
Parang
Yun
yung
lang.
ano na lang po,
Parang
culture.
culture.
Parte na po ng kultura. Ganun.
Parte ng kultura. Okay, thank you, Marco. So, yun yung isa sa laging sinasabi. Na, uy, huwag ka na mag-emote dyan. Dadadaan lang yan. Huwag kang tumambay. Ganyan. Parang hindi pwedeng makaramdam ka. 'Di ba? Ang ending, para mag-stop yun, yung grabeng nagfo-float na bigat na parang clouds of thoughts, no? Imagine niyo clouds of thoughts na balot yung thoughts natin. So, ang bigat nun. And then, they end up committing suicide. Which is dapat hindi nangyayari. Kasi, dapat, imbis na tayo ay magtawa at talagang mang-asar, andun yung care. So, natulingan kang friend ni ganyan. No, tapos iiyak ka kapag nalaman mong nag-suicide siya because of you na first and foremost, kailangan ka niya. Kailangan niya ng makakakinig or a listener, di ba? Kahit hindi ka na magsalita, basta nare-release, di ba? Than female, but of course, we don't want to increase the rates, the suicide rates, di ba? Kaya nga, sabi ko, always talk to someone. Last, kapag wala ka na talagang choice, di ba? Or, hindi mo sa choice, always talk to someone na maaasahan. Hindi yung, uy, ito available, sige, kwentahan kita ha, pero after a week, nakadagdag lang yung pagkwento mo sa kanya kasi chinismis niya yung mga sinabi mo. Diba? Very bad, diba? So, pili tayo ng pwedeng mapagkwentuhan na sincere, tutulong, makikinig, at hindi lalabas yung pinag-usapan natin. Diba? Next. Ay, sorry. Mental health in the Philippines. Isa pa. There is scarcity, kakulangan in terms of mental health professionals. No? Sa mga audience natin, sino ba dito ang nagbabalak na maging mental health professional someday to become a psychiatrist, therapist, guidance? Meron ba? Pwedeng mag-share. Anyone? Meron ba? Okay, walang may gustong mag-share. So, ayun na, kakulangan natin sa mga tutulong magtrabaho, sa mga magbibigay liwanag sa mga buhay ng mga taong nangangailangan. So, sabi dyan, with only a little over 600, puntakan niyo yun? 600 lang sa Philippines, practicing psychiatrist. No, mas mayaman pa kayo in terms of finances, no? Pero tao ang kailangan natin, manpower. No, kaya mag-doktor na tayong lahat. So, the ratio is only 0.52 per 100,000 persons. Kaya nyo ba yun? Kayo nga, si Mr. John Ray, if you're in the position of that, handling 100,000 person, wala pa ngang 1:100,000. Tingin mo, kaya yun? John Ray.
Ma'am, sino pong John Ray po?
Ay, sorry pala. Si Mr. Pateno. Yan.
Hindi po, ma'am.
Ano mangyayari pag hindi kinayanan?
Stress.
Maano?
Stress po.
Maano daw? Ma? Sorry, pagkabingi ako
Stress po.
Di ba bibigay or wala, baka imbis na makatulong si psychiatrist, dumagdag siya dun sa 100,000 person, di ba? Ayaw naman nating mangyari yon. No, kaya nga, kinakaya, kahit hirap na hirap. No? So, furthermore, access to mental health service is not equally distributed across the country. Most psychiatrists work in for-profit or private sectors in larger urban cities such as Metro Manila. Ito ay katotohanan at hindi lang para idiin na may problema talaga No? Pero kapag may problema, may solusyon naman. So, kailangan lang natin na mag-isip positively dun sa in terms of kaya naman. Kailangan lang natin call for admiring or wanting to become practicing individual, practicing professional. Sabi dyan sa meme, me panicking over due dates and then panicking over lack of time and then panicking because I'm panicking. Wala nang ginawa kundi nagpanic. So, bakit ba tayo nagpapanik? Or bakit tayo nasi-stress? Of course, nagpapanik tayo because of some scenarios in our life na talagang nakakataranta at nakaka-stress. So, discuss natin si stress. Feeling of restraint or strain and pressure is the unpleasant thing that deals with our mind and body. Next, stress is the body's reaction to harmful situation. Sabi dyan, stress is good if it motivates you. But, it's bad if it wears you down. Sabi ko nga kanina sa umpisa, stress ay normal nating nararanasan everyday. No? Kaya lang, kapag nag-ipon ka ng stress, imbis na mas nag-focus tayo dun sa gagawin natin for that day, dun sa mga task natin, no, madodominate niya tayo. It's either sasabog tayo kasi ayoko na, diba? Sobrang stress na ako. Yun yung mga kadalasan nating sinasabi, diba? So, next, sabi dyan, little stress is okay, but too much stress can get in the way of your daily life. Na nagsisimula ang lahat dyan. Stress and depression. Nakalagay dyan, stress is not equal to depression. Sabi, depression is more serious and long-lasting than stress and requires a different kind of help. Here are the common signs and i-compare lang natin saglit. No? Common signs of stress, yung feeling overwhelmed, you have problems with sleeping, feeling nervous or anxious, feeling burned out, having trouble in functioning well. Pansin nyo, kay stress, ano lang siya tulog, pagod, hindi maka-function. But tingnan natin kay depression. Withdrawing from other people, feeling sad and hopeless, lack of energy, enthusiasm, and motivation, having trouble functioning well, last, having thoughts of suicide. Pag si stress kasi, pwedeng pagod lang yan. Pwede kang you pause and then you continue. Pag tinignan natin si depression, yun talagang wala na. Wala kang amor or wala kang trip gawin kahit pa dati magaling ka sa pagsusulat ng kanta, Then ngayon, you try. But then, wala na eh. Wala na yung fire, wala na yung dating ikaw, because ayaw mo na. There's something wrong with you. Diba? Sabi, if you think you have some visible signs of depression, don't think twice to call a friend or ask professional help. Bakit po ganun? Lagi na lang umiikot sa talking to someone, letting out your emotion, your thoughts, diba? Because that's the first step. That's very important. Na mostly hindi natin napapractice kasi ang daming masistigmatize dun sa thought na yun. Sabi dyan, the point in the semester when you just lay in bed thinking about all of your stress. Merong video but wala na naman siyang sound. Wait. Magpe-present ako sa other tao. Let's wait. So far, are you learning something? Are you getting something so far? Okay, wait. Some more questions? Yes po. So, meron bang mga questions? Pwede nyong itanong while I'm preparing the video. You can chat in the chat box or unmute yourself. Play na ako.
You can't tell how someone feels just by looking at them or what they share online. To the outside world, our lives may look perfect, even if in reality they aren't. I'm always worrying about doing well at school, and with the end of year test coming up, I'm not sure how much longer I can cope. My thoughts swarm around my head, sometimes keeping me up all night. Some days it's just all too much, and I feel like I'm lost in space. When I did badly on one of my tests, I just about kept it together until I got home. Then I broke down crying in front of my mum. She listened for a bit, and then she told me that, just like physical health, we all have mental health. It's our feelings, our thinking, our emotions, and our moods. She then said that feeling down, angry, and stressed is a normal part of life. Just like it's normal to feel happy, confident, and carefree sometimes. We all have positive and negative emotions that come and go based on what's happening around us. These are everyday feelings. Good mental health means experiencing negative emotions. It's not always about being happy. Mum can relate to the feelings of stress. So when Mum suggested I take a break from everything and do something I enjoy, I actually took her advice. So I made myself a hot chocolate, snuggled up in a duvet and watched a film. And you know what? Afterwards I felt so much better. Mum should take her own advice.
Most of us only ever share the good things. We don't like to share how we really feel. Every morning when I wake up, negative thoughts stream through my head. Getting out of bed and pretending I'm okay takes all the energy I have. As the day goes on, the negative thoughts turn from a stream into a river. The water rushes through my head so loudly it's hard to concentrate in lessons. And some days it's so bad it feels like a waterfall that's trying to pull me over the edge. Everything is so overwhelming. I didn't think my friends would understand if I told them how down I was feeling. But when Sasha opened up to me about how stressed she was feeling, I told her. I wasn't sure how to bring up how I'd been feeling, so I started by saying that I didn't feel like myself. Just her listening made me feel like she understood. She told me some things that had helped her, so I tried them too, but it didn't make much of a difference. Even when I tried to be around my friends, I felt alone. The things I used to enjoy weren't fun anymore.
I was really worried about Andre and not sure what to do. He was quiet and wasn't hanging out with us like he used to. So I asked our head of year for some advice. He suggested I get Andre to speak to him since his negative feelings weren't going away.
I didn't want to speak to our head of year, but I also didn't want to keep feeling so down, so I went. He said that sometimes we have overwhelming feelings that can be more intense than our everyday feelings. These feelings hang around for a long time and change the way we feel, think, and behave. They can stop us doing what we want to in life. That's what I was going through. He also said that if we're physically unwell, we let people know, we ask for help. It should be no different with mental health. Sometimes our overwhelming feelings are brought on because of things in our life. Sometimes they happen for no reason at all. After hearing this, I felt much less alone and it felt good to talk. Scientists have found exercise can help when you're feeling low, so our head of year encouraged me to sign up to the school football club, which Sasha was already in. I still have days when the river is there, but now I'm beginning to understand my mental health. I'm learning how to cope. Our head of year reminded me that my friends, family, teachers, and lots of others at school are there to help just as much as he is. I had no idea the people around me could be so understanding. And while it's not always easy to talk about my mental health, the person I'm talking to might be able to help. If you don't feel like talking, that's fine. You could try writing, sports, reading, art, music, playing with your pet, whatever makes you feel better.
If you're the person someone talks to when they're struggling, just listen with no pressure or judgment. You don't have to have the answer. If you feel unsure about anything, you can speak to a trusted adult. Talking about mental health doesn't have to be difficult. After all, it's something we all have.
Okay, so that's the video. To always talk about what you feel because it's always you na kailangan at the end of the day, okay ka. I will present again. And kapag hindi natin kayang magsalita muna or magkwento, diba, pwede daw na event natin into arts, into painting, into music, into sports. Okay, so, na next. Dito na tayo sa part na stop the stigma. So, ano-ano ba yung mga problems? Ano ba yung stigma na yan? So, sabi dyan, most people who live with mental illness have at some point been blamed for their condition. Sabihin, ganyan ka kasi, ganyan itsura mo eh. No? Tapos, bigyan pa ng bagong nicknames. So, that's very rude and wrong. No, their symptoms have been referred to as a phase or ano lang yan, season lang yan, dilipas din yan, or something that they can control if they only try. Parang kasalanan mo pa na meron akong ganito, diba? Ako na ngayon may problema, tapos yung parang ganun, bigat na bigat ka na, tapos i-blame pa nila sa'yo that you have that, and it's all your fault, no? Very wrong. Sabi, they have highly and illegally discriminated with no justice. This is unwieldy power that the stigma holds. No, lalo na yung words, masasakit na words na sasabihin sa atin. No, lalo na sa kanila na may iniinda. So, let's stop the stigma. How? Number 1, talk openly about mental health. Kung ano ba nafe-feel mo ngayon? Ano ba yung tingin ko? Meron na ata. Educate yourself and others. If you think na wala kang masasabi na tama or kinakabahan ka kasi baka mamaya mali yung masabi mo and feeling mo your lack education. No? Read, research, diba? Study, learn about mental health. And hindi lang to yung hindi tayo yung kusa na nag-declare na, uy, meron akong depression, uy, meron akong gantong sakit. No, kailangan laging dadaan sa professional. Okay? Kailangan meron kang valid test na tinake para masabing meron kang ang ganito. Okay, number 3, be conscious of language. Mga na-explain at example natin kanina. No, ikaw hurt ka na, hindi mo na alam nangyayari sa sarili mo, tapos sasabihan ka pa na baliw. Diba? Sa tingin mo, masaya yun. So, no. Always use kind words na lang. And be conscious to language. 4, encourage equally between mental and physical. Or equality between mental and physical. Hindi man pwedeng pagod lang tayo palagi. Always exercise your mind as well as your physical body. So, number 5, show compassion for those with mental illness. Pag tayo, ang compassion naman, hindi naman yung lagi lalapitan mo, kakausapin mo, but yung tingin mo sa kanila, you respect them as who they are, di ba? That's showing compassion. Hindi na kailangang hihimasin mo, kakamustahin mo, di ba? Yung kita lang natin sila, mas smile natin sila. Di ba? Mas malaking help na yun sa kanila. Number 6, choose empowerment over shame. Yun nga, use helpful words, help them, use empowerment. No, hindi lang natin papahiyain kasi natutuwa tayo na pinagtatawanan natin sila, ganyan. No. Always choose empowerment or yung ikagagaan ng taong nakakaranas ng bigat. And 7, be honest about treatment. Treatment, no? Pwede pa yan. Hindi end na ng buhay mo na may depression ka. No, hindi. There's always a way for you to get better. No, hindi natin sasaraduhin yung isip natin for that. Na, shucks, life sentence na, meron akong depression, ayoko na. No. Next, don't let the media know that they're being stigmatized or stigmatizing. Yung tamang pag-share na lang din na information sa mga Facebook natin, Instagram, Twitter, di ba? Yung pag alam natin na merong mga campaigns that helps mental health awareness, no? We join and then we educate ourselves and then we promote to stop the stigma. So next, don't harbor self-stigma. O in a way, huwag niyo sasabing, depressed yata ako. Lagi mo sinasabi, depressed ka. No, hanggang sa nagkatotoo. No, wag. Kasi, law of attraction, di ba? What you think you are will make you who you are, di ba? So, wag. Always, always on the positive note. Always on the good side. No, don't harbor self-stigma. Huwag mo nang sasabing, baliw ka ata, kasi ganto ganyan. No? Always use appropriate. Ano to? Wait lang. Another video. So, last video na to, tas we are nearly ending this discussion. Wait. Meron ba dito nakaranas na mas stigmatized because of kinuwento mo lang naman yung nararamdaman mo. Pero, bakit ganon? Diba? Can someone share their experiences? Yung kahit konti lang. Sa atin lang to. 51 lang tayo dito. Stop percent. Yeah. Last video for this discussion. Sabi, it must be discussed. Save a life today. Together, we are stronger than the stigma. Together, we can save a life. Stop the stigma. So, last part of the discussion. Presenting. Sabi dyan, how to become mentally healthy during the new norm or new normal. Number 1, be aware of ways to cope up. Natulad sa video, sa second video, no, pwede mo i-divert lahat. Stress mo, pagod mo, attention mo into something productive. No? Number 2, connect with others and express yourself. Ang hirap niya yung new normal. No? Paano kapag walang internet, say, friend, no? Lalo na dapat na ikukwento ka. No? Always find a way. No? Ano ba? Ilan taon na ba kayo? 15? Above, pwede lumabas. Pero hindi ko sinasabing labas na kayong lahat. Always find someone, no, to talk to and express yourself. Number 3, be physically active. Hindi pwedeng online class na, lagi na lang tayo nakaupo, no, nakaharap sa screen. Pwede tayong maburo dyan, no? Kailangan nating gumalaw, pagpawisan. Number 4, important to ask for professional help if you really need it. Number 5, be positive despite the odds. Sabi na kanina ni Chamberlain, no, kapag nasasabi niya na hindi na siya okay, kapag nagsistart na mag-build up sa kanyang thoughts, nagsistart na yung mga negative thoughts sa kanyang mind. So, always look for the good side, the positive side, despite the odds. Number 6, rest and sleep. Students, even sa mga colleagues, always find time to rest and sleep. Ilang oras ba kayo natutulog? 3? 5? 2? Tulog ba ang tawag doon? Parang nap lang yan eh. Kailangan rest talaga. Rest yourself, your mind, your thoughts, have peace, diba? Ang sleep, kailangan 7 to 8 hours. No, i-grab niyo yun hanggat di pa kayo pamilyado, wala pa kayo naalaga ang baby. Number 7, be kind to yourself and others. Kasi yun lang yung karamay nyo eh. Diba sabi nila, kapatid mo yung karamay mo. But, in reality, it's just yourself, no? Huwag mo aawayan yan. Huwag mong ibabash yan. No, always love yourself. Love your flaws so that you can love others. Okay? Sabi dyan, when I get stressed, I stop being stressed and be awesome instead. So I pray and hope na ma-apply natin tong mga discussion for this topic. Last reminder, your mental health is as important as your physical health. You don't have to suffer alone. Keep going. I'll end my discussion with this verse, 1 Peter 5:7. Cancel your anxiety on Him because He cares for you. So, walang problemang di nasusolusyonan. No, lahat yan kaya at mapapagtagumpayan. So, this has been the end of my discussion. God bless you and see you next time.
Ma'am, pwede magtanong?
Yeah, sure.
Sabi nyo nga po kanina, mental health problems are prevalent in our society nowadays. So, I
Yes.
just want to enlighten myself, ma'am, about what is the difference between the stress and the depression. Kasi I've been experiencing those two words, ma'am, pero I don't know what to declare.
What to declare. Sige. Kasi, ang mas madali mong ma-consider si stress since lagi tayo exposed sa stress such as mahinang internet connection, maingay sa bahay, nanay natin, utos ng utos, diba? But, when we declare that we are depressed, dadating lang yung time na yun. If, di ba meron tayong mga dyan, category kanina. Kapag feeling mo, ayaw mo na. Or, hindi na yung pagod level lang eh. Kumbaga, ayaw mo na. Ayaw mo nang magpatuloy sa schoolworks. Ito hindi ko sinasabing agad-agad pag nararamdaman mo ay depressed ka agad. Suko level si depression. But, masasabi nating depression ang meron ka kapag tayo ay nagpa-check na sa professional. No? Ang level kasi niyan is una, acceptance sa sarili, ano yung nangyayari sa'yo, alam mo na merong problema. Number 2, nakwento mo sa iba. Then last, para masabi talaga na depression is to seek for a professional help. So, nasagot ko ba yung tanong mo? Or you want more pa?
Yes, ma'am. Parang nakikita ko po kasi sa social media about sa sign ng stress or depression. So,
yes.
Po ma-enlighten about those two words. Kasi parang naguguluhan po talaga ako kung ano yung ano ba yung nararamdaman ko, kung stress na ba to or depression. Ayun lang po, ma'am. Ayun lang po yung gusto kong malaman about that.
Since ako ay educator, I'm not yet a professional, lalo I'm not a psychiatrist or guidance counselor or psychometrician. I recommend that you talk to someone na who is in profession in line with that. No, para tayo talagang ma-clear, no, Mr. Joseph. Kasi ang hirap pag laging puro-puro, haka-haka, always on the general, di ba? For you to further understand that. I suggest.
Thank you po.
Ito, next speaker natin, di ba? We will learn more of that. So, thank you for your question. Meron pa po bang question? Or additional information such as you wanted to share? Bago ako magbabay. Yung babay. Or okay na? Sige, thank you for having me. This has been the end of my discussion. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, ma'am. Mark?
Thank you po for that talk. Indeed, our mental health is an underlying matter that we almost always never put ample time for us to focus on, while it's slowly taking its toll for ourselves. And thanks for these talks like this, we are reminded yet again about the significance of our mental health and making its presence felt made known to us. Truly an amazing topic to be ventured on in trying times like these. We once again thank you now. But That's just the first of many more talks that we will engage. So just stay put, sit back, and relax as we unfold the succeeding events of our webinar. But but of course, in every discussion, we have to ask questions in order to test your understanding about what we have discussed. So, Franz, can you please ask the first question?
So as promised, yeah, we will be having a Q&A portion. And for the first question, give at least one fact and one myth in mental health. So we will be waiting for the presentation first by Prince to show you the prizes for our Q&A. So, okay, here. Our prizes are, you can choose, if you get the correct answer, you can choose from here of our prizes, Canva Pro, 20 pesos load or 20 pesos Gcash. So for our first question, give at least one fact and one myth in mental health. Anyone? Marco.
Ano po, yung myth po, yung mental health po hindi pwedeng pagalingin. Ay, mental illness na makaka-recover. Yan po ay isang myth. Tapos, yung fact naman, may stigma po sa mental health.
Okay, so what prize would you want?
Gcash po.
Okay, for the next question, thank you, Marco. For our next question, what year was the RA 11036 was passed? Or the mental health law?
Ako,
John Ray,
2018.
2018, yeah. So what price?
Gcash.
Okay, for the third question, what is the topic of Ma'am Bea's pep talk? Would anyone want to answer?
Paulit ng question.
What is the topic of Ma'am Bea's pep talk? Or talk?
Mental health talk.
Mental what?
Mental health.
Yeah, mental health. So, go choose your prize.
Canva.
Yes. And then for the last question, the fourth question, why is mental health awareness important to you?
Ako,
Who is that? Michael Francis Date.
yeah. I believe that mental health is important because everyone has had or meron silang mental health. Yeah.
Okay, so which prize?
Canva.
So for the prizes, you can chat Priscilla Lin, our President Priscilla Lin Fuentes to claim it for the winners. Now, before we proceed, let us also acknowledge the presence of Miss Stephanie Jasnes, our calculus teacher when we're in grade 11, and as well as Miss Jacqueline Jacob, the grade 12 coordinator of Unida Christian Colleges. So as we have skipped a while ago, we will be listening to a song presented by Michael Francis Date entitled Invisible by Hunter Hayes.
Crowded hallways are the loneliest places for outcasts and rebels, or anyone who just dares to be different. And you've been crying out for so long to find out where your place is, but in there now, there's no room for anyone who dares to do something different. Oh, but listen for a minute. Trust the one who's been where you are, wishing all it was sticks and stones. Those words cut deep, but they don't mean you're all alone. You're not invisible. Hear me out. There's so much more to life than what you're feeling now. Someday you'll look back on all these days, and all this pain is gonna be invisible. Oh, invisible. So your confidence is quiet. To them, quiet looks like weakness, but you don't have to fight it, 'cause you're strong enough to win without war. Every heart has to rhythm. Let yours beat out so loudly that everyone can hear it. Yeah, I promise you don't need to hide it anymore. Oh, and never be afraid of doing something different. There to be something more. Trust the one who's been where you are, wishing all it was sticks and stones. Those words cut deep, but they don't mean you're all alone. And you are not invisible. Hear me out. There's so much more in life than what you're feeling now. And someday you'll look back on all these days, and all this pain is gonna be invisible. This service that they give you, just 'cause they don't understand. Now if you look past this moment, you'll see you've got a friend waving a flag for who you are and all you're gonna do. Yeah, so here's to you, and here's to anyone who's ever felt invisible. Yeah. And you're not invisible. Hear me out. There's so much more to life than what you're feeling now. And someday you'll look back on all these things, all this pain. It's gonna be invisible. It'll be invisible.
Wow! So thank you very much, Jade, for that wonderful song. I know that you guys liked it. But that's not the only surprise that we have for you. Let us now watch the presentation of Grade 12 Deuteronomy, a motivational video about mental health awareness.
Isang makabagong sistema na nagpabago ng bawat estudyante sa hinaharap. Isang malupit na pagsubok na tila ba'y napakahirap.
Isang simula na maaaring durugin ang mga pangarap.
Isang estudyante, dalawang estudyante, tatlong estudyante, lahat ng estudyante ay nakatingin sa ulap. Nag-iisip kung paano malalasap ang kanilang ginintoang pangarap.
Mga pangakong itinatak sa ating puso. Mga bagong pagbabago at mabigat na trabaho.
Kaya mo ba kasama sa likod ang ilog ng mundo ang iyong utak ay hindi nakapag-isip ng problema?
Hindi mapakalito. Hindi lahat ng bagay ay maganda ang hinihinan ng pagkakas.
Lahat ng gawain ay hindi pwedeng isang tabi.
Ating oras sa pagsasaya ay laging may kahati.
Pagod na mag-isip ang ating mga ulo. Walang ibang ginawa kundi umupo sa dulo.
Makinig sa mga oras kahit hindi maayos ang ating puso. Nangihinang katawan at nanlalabong mga mata ang masamang dulot kapalit ng mataas sa grado.
Umpisa pa lamang ito. Umpisa na ng mga bagong pagbabago. Umpisa ng mga pighati at paghihirap.
Kaya sa ganitong sistema ay simulan mo na rin hanapin ang iyong ganap.
Bawat araw ay ginising ng maga.
Iba na madalas nakakasalamuhan ng ating mga mukha, madalas ay iba na rin hinahawakan ng ating mga kamay at inilitigan ng ating dalawang mata.
Dahil una pa lang, o nagkas na ang dahilan kung bakit dito tayo nagsimula.
1,000,000 takdang aralin. Nais na tayo'y papagalin at maghabol sa oras hanggang sa tayo'y hingalin.
Mahuli man sa itinakdang pagpasa ng gawain, aking nahihirapan na estudyante ay ginagawa ang lahat upang makapagpasa pa rin.
Pag-aaral ngayong pandemya ay nagsilbing isang malaking harang sa maraming kabataan.
Madali sa ilan, mahirap sa karamihan. Tambak na gawain at dagdag sa isipan.
Ngunit patuloy nating pagsikapan para may ipagmalaki kinabukasan.
Paano makakaahon sa ganitong sitwasyon kung sa iyo mismo ay walang tumutulong?
Araw-araw na pananakit ng gawain. Tila ba sa inyo ilang beses nabulong?
Ilang beses ka man pauladan ng paghihirap, lagi mong tandaan na ang Diyos ang iyong bubong.
Di nakakamatay ang pagsubok na pinaghirapan.
Ang nakakamatay ay ang pagtigil sa isang daan at pananatili sa nakaraan.
Akademikong stress? Paano nga ba ito maiiwasan?
Maglalaho lamang ito kapag ang sobrang pag-iisip ay babawasan o iiwasan.
Kung may problema, iiyak mo lang. Ang pag-iyak ay hindi nagpapakita ng kainaan.
Bagkus ito ay magaan sa pakiramdam para sa estudyanteng naliligaw sa daan.
Pagtuunan mo ng pansin ang iyong sarili. Hayaan ang bigat na nakakubli.
Sa kabila ng lahat ng pagsisisi, alalahanin mo lang na may dahilan ang lahat ng pangyayari.
Huwag mawalan ng pag-asa. Hindi lang ikaw ang nahihirapan mag-isip.
Maging bukas sa iyong mga kaibigan at iba pa. Sila ang makakasama mo sa panibagong panimula.
Lagi mong tanggapin ng hamon ng bawat bagay. Dahil sa bandang huli, sila ang iyong magiging gabay.
Ang pagsusumikap, pagtsatsaga, at pagiging masikaso ang siyang makakatulong upang makabangon sa buhay. Harapin ng panibagong pagsubok na ating isasabuhay.
Nahihirapan ang estudyante ay kailangan ng atensyon, pagmamahal at labis na pagkalinga. Iyong support at paniniwala sa kanila ay pagkatiwala.
Upang bumalik kanilang sariling tiwala, tulungan natin sila na lumakas ang kumpiyansa.
Basta't lagi mo lamang tatandaan
na sa buhay ay sasapit ang kadiliman na magiging dahilan
Parang hindi mo makita ang tinatahak na daan. Parang sa buhay lamang na ating ginagalawan.
Dadating ka sa punto na hindi mo na maintindihan ang mga nangyayari sa mundo.
Dahil sa malawakang pagbabago, isa mo pa ang mga problemang ibinabato sa'yo.
Kaya hindi mo malaman kung ano ang uunahin mo. Magdudulot sa'yo ng sakit sa ulo. Kaya ngayon, ikaw ay problemado.
Pero, alam naman natin na sa pagsapit ng dilim ay may araw pa rin.
Nagsisikat sa langit na magbibigay liwanag sa atin. Magsisilbing bagong simula para sa iyo, para sa isa na namang nakakapagod na araw.
Huwag kang hihinto kung nakakaramdam ng pagod at pagkatiko. Sayang ang mga sinakripisyo mo. Sayang ang mga nasunod mo.
Kung uulitin mo ang mga bagay na maaaring magturo sa iyo, magtungo ka sa pangarap na iyong inaasam.
Ang sarap lamang kaya sa pakiramdam na sa bawat hirap na iyong nararanasan ay may magandang buhay na naghihintay sa iyong kinabukasan.
Kaya't lagi nating tandaan na sa bawat pagpatak ng ulan ay may bahagharing lilitaw sa kalangitan.
So I hope you enjoyed, and I know that you related to that video as much as I did. Now for our next speaker, Mr. Jax Daniel R. Pagtalunan. He is an educator, artist, volunteer, psychometrician, and mental health advocate. He is a full-time lecturer at Far Eastern University Cavite under the Psychology Department, where he serves as the advisor of the Psychology Society as well. He is currently finishing his master's degree in psychology, major in clinical psychology at De La Salle University, Dasmariñas. Mr. Pagtalunan is an active member of the Psychological Association of the Philippines, Pambansang Samahan sa Psikolohiyang Pilipino, and Philippine Mental Health Association. Moreover, he is the Community Service Director of the Rotaract Club of Metro Poblacion Silang, Research and Development Head of Astrologica, Learning and Development Officer of Mental Health PH, and Provincial Coordinator of Cavite of the Psychological Association of the Philippines, Calabarzon, and Mimaropa Chapter PAP-CMC. He is frequently invited in various seminars and workshops to discuss topics that concerns mental health and well-being. Mr. Pagtalunan is the current president and co-founder of Sinagdiwa, Volunteers for Mental Health, a nonprofit volunteer organization which aims to bring proper mental health awareness and help close-served communities through training, collaboration, and outreach. Once again, Mr. Jax Daniel Pagtalunan.
Hello po. Afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Narinig niyo po ako?
Yes po.
Ano pala nakabukas yung camera ko, wait lang. Taray nung may may paklap kasi. Wait lang po Sana ay Kita niyo po ako?
Opo.
Lipad yung bangs ko, pagpasensya niyo. Anyway, magandang hapon po sa lahat. Thank you for that very wonderful introduction po. And it has been my honor to be invited here. Salamat po sa UNIDA Christian Colleges, JCI, I believe, IMUS. And of course, to your, ito po ba ay organized by your section or grade 12 po, tama no?
Yes po.
I'm very much honored to be with you here this afternoon. Okay? Anyway, medyo okay lang ba semi-formal ako? May baka kasi maantok kayo pag masyado akong formal, especially alas 3. Anyway, let me share my screen para po mag-start na tayo with our talk for today. I would expect po that you would answer some questions. I would like this virtual encounter to be interactive po, no? Nakikita niyo po?
Opo.
Okay, so I guess we can start po, no? Okay, the topic that was given to me actually was coping with academic stress in times of remote learning. Well, this particular topic is very close to my heart since I am a teacher nga po. Okay, and every day, okay, it's every day that I talk to my students, especially regarding their mental health concerns. And it was very hard for me kasi I am wearing two hats here, no? Kasi my hat number one would be a teacher, and the hat number two would be a mental health practitioner. Okay. Now, anyway, it is very normal, no? Okay, na magkaroon po tayo ng mga stressful situations. Okay. And because of that, I have some question for you. Kamusta ka? Mga audience po natin ngayon. Kamusta po kayo? So I would wait for your hindi ko lang makikita yung sagot mo, no? Pero sige, I would open my phone para makita ko yung mga comments niyo. Kamusta po kayo ngayon? So in one word na lang para di kayo mahirapan, how would you describe what you're feeling right now? Kayo ba ay masaya? Nagugutom? I'm really curious to know ano bang kalagayan po natin. Nakikita yung mga comments niyo. So, go back lang sa meeting. Okay. So, some lang, no? Yung dami, ah. Dami pala natin ngayon dito. 50 plus. Okay. Pagod. Lumalaban. Okay. Goods. Fine. Fighting. Thankful. Contented. Blessed. Fine. Lumalaban pa rin po kahit pagod na. Fine. Kinakaya. So as you can see, guys, dito sa mga sagot na mga kasamahan natin, no, most are, yes, marami ang pagod, pero kinakaya pa rin nila, no, despite of the challenges that they are facing. Now, earlier, I believe you had I believe you had a talk about mental health, right? So, I believe medyo mas madali na po nating ma-connect or ma-reiterate kung bakit very important maintindihan yung mga yung stress, okay, at kung bakit mahalagang ma-manage ng mga estudyante yung stress po. Okay? Now, balikan ko lang. Siguro nasabi na sa inyo kanina to, pero balikan ko lang. No? There's a definition of mental health by the World Health Organization. Okay? So, sabi po dito, mental health is a state of well-being in which an individual realizes his or her own abilities, kaya niyang mag-cope sa mga normal stresses of life. Okay? As I told you, stress is normal. Can work productively and is able to make a contribution to his or her community, may ambag sa madaling salita. In this positive sense, mental health is, do not forget po ito ha, foundation for individual well-being. It is the foundation of individual well-being, and further, it would lead to an effective functioning community. So sa madaling salita, imagine po kung ang isang komunidad, lahat ng tao doon, yung miyembro doon, is actually experiencing optimum mental health or well-being, no? Okay? Now, para mas madali, kasi dami kong sinabi dito sa paragraph, no? Ito po yung kailangan nyo tandaan about mental health, and that, kung ba't mahalaga rin siyang pag-usapan lagi, no? And I'm very happy personally kasi as a mental health advocate for the past decades, medyo mas nagiging accepting na yung mga tao ngayon. Medyo mas pinag-uusapan na siya ngayon sa social media, mas bukas na. Okay, nagkaroon na tayo ng maraming platforms to talk about this. Katulad nga po nito, no? Your school, okay, your section, I believe, or your strand, organize this kinds of topic, which before, hindi ko talaga maisip na gagawin yon. Okay, kung hindi pa i-require. Pero ngayon, nakikita ko na mas pinapahalagahan na siya. No? Okay? Now, ang nakalagay po dito, okay? Ito yung mas shortened version lang. No? May 4 na kailangan tandaan dito. Una po, can tackle the normal difficulties of life. Okay, kaya niyo pong i-address yung mga normal difficulties or stresses of life. As I told you po, stress is very much normal. Okay? And I would explain later kung bakit. Pangalawa po, okay, alam niyo yung kaya niyong gawin. You're aware of your own abilities. Alam niyo yung kaya niyong gawin, alam niyo rin yung hindi niyo pa kayang gawin. Okay? And because of that, you know your skills and capabilities. Okay? And sabi niyo kanina, patuloy pa rin kayo lumalaban. You're still trying your best to be a better version of yourself. All of us are work in progress po. No? Do not forget that. Okay? So because of that, you can work productively. Okay? Especially you are students. No? Madami kayong requirements, I believe. You have a lot of things to do. You have modules to submit. Maybe you have videos to edit. You have PowerPoints to do. You have report games. Okay? You have examinations that you have to review with. Okay? Now, it is very understandable if it would make you feel overwhelmed. Okay? Pero however, as you told me kanina sa comment nyo, nandito pa rin kayo, di ba? You're still trying your best. Okay? And still, you're working productively. Pero mamaya, i-check natin, ha? Okay? Kasi syempre, ang dami yung ginagawa. Kamusta talaga kayo? Okay? Kasi kanina, medyo general lang tanong ko. And of course, because of this, you are able to contribute to your community. So, kumbaga, meron kayong ambag. Kasi malaking issue ngayon yung kaambag. Lahat naman tayo may ambag. No? Lahat tayo meron tayong role sa society. Okay? Now, let us say this illness-wellness continuum. Pasensya niyo mga pusa ko po. Okay? Illness-wellness continuum. Okay? So, you need to understand that in mental health advocacy po, okay, there's a particular continuum that we're trying to focus. Okay? So, ito po yung wellness paradigm na tinatawag. Kung makikita niyo po dito sa gitna, okay? Kaya I'm asking you earlier, kamusta kayo? I'm trying to gauge, nasaan kayo dito? Okay? Where are you here? Okay? Now, anyway, kung nasa gitna kayo, it's very neutral, no? The neutral point. So, ibig sabihin, well, wala kang illness, wala ka namang sakit, okay? I mean, psychologically speaking, and wala ka rin naman doon sa optimum wellness. So, good, tama lang. Okay? Gitna lang ba? Okay? Now, kung makikita nyo po, okay? Kapag nabawasan ang wellness, okay? So, doon tayo papunta sa kaliwa. Okay? So, let's say for example, there are a lot of stresses na nangyari sa atin that is very too much na, and yung coping natin, hindi na kinakaya na i-address yung mga stresses na ito. No? Okay, so you would start to have signs and symptoms of what? Pwede na kayo mag-develop ng ibang psychological disorders. Again, develop pa lang po, ha? Huwag kayong mag-self-diagnose, okay? So, maaari siyang ma-develop lalo pag hindi natin naagapan. Okay? And it would further lead to disabilities or disorder. And wag naman sana, kasi the extreme case, it would lead now to premature death. Bakit premature death? Hindi ka pa naman kasi dapat mamatay ng mga panahon na yan. Okay? However, di natin kasi na-address. Okay? Obviously, hindi natin hihintay makarating tayo dito. Dito tayo sa kabila tumingin. Dito tayo sa right side. Okay? So dito, napansin nyo, di ba, pinakauna nakalagay dito, yung mas mataas sa neutrality na okay lang ako. Okay? Kasi usually when I ask people, and they would told me, they would tell me, okay lang po. What do you mean? Kasi marami magkakaiba ang pagpapakahulugan natin ng okay lang. Okay? So anyway, so tingnan niyo po ito, awareness. Itong ginagawa niyo mga webinars, seminars, or siguro you have projects, or you exposing yourself sa social media when it comes to mental health advocacy, these are actually very helpful, no? Bakit? Kasi ito yung first step para lumapit ka sa kanan. Ano ba meron sa kanan? That is the wellness. Papunta ka sa well-being, no? So awareness is there. Then after na awareness, education. So when say education, psychoeducation, you're continuously learning. You're continuously applying what you're learning from the mental health advocacy. And obviously, it would lead you to growth. Okay? And yung pinakadulo is a high-level functioning individual with wellness. Okay? Tayo sa kanan po tayo papunta. Okay? So anyway, I have another question for you ngayon. Yung totoo ha, kayo yung honest na sagot. From a scale of 1 to 10, right now, anong oras na ngayon? 3:25, ano ba? Okay? Ngayong oras na po ito, how stressed are you? Okay? Obviously, 10 being the highest and 1 being the lowest. Wala pong 11, wala pong 0. Okay? So again, when you answer 10, you are very much stressed right now. Okay? Kung 1, wala lang. Carry lang. Wala, hindi ka masyadong stress ngayon. So I would wait for your answers po. No? Okay? Yan, may mapapasok pa lang answers kagad. Ang bilis. Okay? I-scan ko lang. Hanapin ko sana yung mean eh. 5, 5, 7, 5, 5. Oh, madaming 5 and 7. 3, 2, 3, 5.5, 6, 6, 3, 2. Okay, so ang lowest natin so far is 1. 7, okay, 7, 7, 6. Okay. So mostly siguro ang tansya ko dito, ang average stress level ng audience natin ngayon is around 6. Okay, it's somehow in the mean, nasa gitna. Anyway, alam niyo ba kung bakit kayo stressed? Do you know why you are stressed right now? Ano yung dahilan kung bakit? Ano yung nag-cause ng 7 na yan? Ano yung nag-cause ng 5? Or regardless kung anong number ang sila. Are you aware po kung ano yung naging reason niya? If you're aware, kindly tell me kung ano po sa tingin nyo. Okay, ang dahilan. Kung pwede ha, kasi baka mamaya hindi pala pwede. Kung pwede lang sabihin. Okay? Kindly tell po sa comment section. Okay? Ano kaya yung possible stressor or reason for your stress? Okay? Para magkaroon tayo ng better idea what are we going through right now, no? So, ACADS, deadlines, online games. Bakit ko na-stress sa online games? Na-stress ako, naalala ko before, sorry. One of my coping is playing ML. Akala ko mawawala yung stress ko na. Lalo ko na activities and family problems, the completion of the project po, nagawain po, ACADS with household chores. Okay, see. Okay, tingnan niyo po guys yung mga sagot ng mga kasamahan natin dito. Obviously, kasi marami tayong social roles na tinatawag. Bago ka magkaroon ng social roles, you are a person. Like ko sinasabi, you are a human at first. Bago ka maging estudyante, anak, kapatid, jowa. Okay? You are a person. You are a human being. That is normal. Okay? Kaya lagi nasabi, stress is normal. At normal sa tao ang makaranas ng stress. Okay? Now, napansin niyo po rito, depending sa social role niyo, may iba't iba kayong stressor or causes of stress. Okay? For example, as a student, okay? So, ayun, sabi niyo, yung mga academic requirements, deadlines po, projects, okay? And yes, that is very expected, okay? Na obviously, these things, these demands from to us, okay, sa inyo, okay, might cause you stress, okay? Now, as a anak naman, siguro, no, or as a kapatid, you have other stress naman, okay? Yung other stressor nyo naman sa bahay, yung kailangan nyo maglinis ng bahay, kailangan yung alagaan siguro kapatid, I don't know, o baka may iba kayong kailangan gawin sa bahay, no? Okay? And madami pa yan. Kaya, like ko sinasabi, when you try to understand stress ng mga tao, you have to look at it in a 360-degree view, okay? Ano-ano ba yung mga factors na nakaka-apekto sa buhay? Pero ngayon, we will focus muna sa pagiging estudyante. Okay? Kasi yun yung topic natin ngayon. Anyway, ano ba yung stress? Eh, alam niyo, for the longest time, stress is very demonized. Pag narin may stress, parang napaka-negative, no? Okay? Or usually people would say, stress na. My students kasi, they always tell me that. Okay? My students and I are very much open to each other. Pag nag-visit sila sa akin, or pag may gusto silang sabihin or feedback, they tell it to me. And the same thing, ganyan ako sa kanila. Okay? Pero we're very civil and we understand that this is part of being a normal person. And we are working together, we are collaborating. How can we help each other? Kasi nga, it's quarantine. Okay, so we are all doing our best. Imagine niyo dyan, several years from now, pag tinanong kayo ng mga future nyong anak, kung may anak man kayo or ako. So, nung 2020, balita ko po nagka-pandemic, tinuro po sa amin, ano pong ginagawa niyo? Nag-aaral. Okay? So imagine that, during the pandemic, you're still studying. Okay? I'm not romanticizing your resilience here. No? The resilience is good. What I'm trying to say is, despite of the abnormal situation, you're still trying to do your best. Okay? So sana huwag kayong maging masyadong hard to yourself. No? Okay? I hope you're trying to see your progress. Okay? Kasi grade 12, grade 12 ba kayo ngayon? Grade 12 kayo ngayon. No? Now, 5 years ago, would you have thought that kung ka pa ng grade 12? Okay? So, kaya ko sinasabi ito guys, kasi your hard work, your stresses actually brought to you kung nasan kayo ngayon. Okay? Anyway, sige. Stress po, sabi dito, is a broad class of experience. Okay, broad class of experience. Marami po klase ng experience yan. No? in which a demanding situation, so may dalawa tayong kailangan tingnan, demanding situation and coping capabilities. So, lagay dito, demanding situation charges a person's coping capabilities. So yung mga demanding situations, yung mga challenges, yung mga sinabi niyo po kanina sa comments, okay, those things are challenging our coping capabilities. Kung kaya ba natin, okay? So this is according to Hans Selye, the father of stress, okay? Anyway, sige, let us see, para sa natin yung stress, This is always my, my advocacy din when it comes to stress. I don't want stress to be very demonized, no? Kasi for the longest time, as I told you, pag narinig stress, talaga, stress na ako. Okay? Well, yes, may negative stress. We call it distress. Okay? Kasi yun yung mas specific. Yung negative na stress or stress na nagkakos ng negative effects sa ating health, we call it distress. Pero mayroong positive stress. We call it eustress, that is EU. Okay? Ibig sabihin, if you see the stressors or yung challenges or demands as areas or opportunities for learning, then it would be eustress. It would be a good stress for you. It would help you grow. Anyway, para maintindihan po natin, tingnan niyo po ito. Meron po akong representation here. So, I have here a green bar and a black bar. Okay, so the green one represents abilities, yung coping nyo. Paano ba kayo mag-cope? When I say cope, paano nyo i-address yung mga problema? Paano nyo ina-address yung mga challenges? Okay? So that is something internal, nasa loob nyo yan Kaya yan yung mga kakayahan yung coping abilities. Now, yung black naman, those are demands. So that is something external. For example, itong unang to na magka-partner. So mapansin nyo, mas mataas yung black. Ibig sabihin, mas mataas yung demand kaysa sa capabilities. Paano nangyari to? For example, sa school, okay? Pag sinabi ko, for example, pwede akong teacher nyo, no? Okay, class, this is your project. You need to submit a research paper and it is due tomorrow. No ifs, no buts, walang negotiation tomorrow. So anong magiging reaction nyo doon? Okay? So most likely, tataas na makilay nyo. At kung tulad kayo, ibang estudyante, gagawin nyo na akong meme sa mga GC. Now, anyway, dito, kung makikita nyo doon, the demands there is masyadong malaki. Okay? Research, ngayon wala sinabi, tapos bukas kagad. Okay? So masyado siya mataas. Okay? So parang bagay ito siya. Okay? Tapos yung capabilities mo, kaya mo bang gumawa ng research overnight? Okay? So baka bandang dito lang. So pag may nakikita kayong gap dyan, that is the stress. Okay? Now, ngayon, bakit yan stress? Usually the body, okay class, guys, class tuloy, guys, the body po ng tao, okay, meron tayong homeostasis na ginatawag or balance, no? For example, pag nagutom ka, ibig sabihin nun na didisrupt yung homeostasis or yung balance. Okay? So, ano kailangan mong gawin? Kailangan mong kumain. Okay? Pwede pag nauntok ka, nadidisrupt din yung balance. Okay? Tuwing nadidisrupt ang homeostasis or balance, meron tayong dapat gawin para bumalik sa balance. Para maging okay yung pakiramdam natin. Okay? So, the same thing kay stress. Okay? So, kaya tayo na-stress, do not forget this. Kaya tayo na-stress kasi our body is telling us, hello, you need to do something. Okay? Kaya ka hindi mapakali, kaya ka nagkakaroon ng mga ng pagsakit ng ulo minsan, okay? Or hindi ka mapakali, you're sweating, okay? Kasi your body is telling you, gumalaw ka, kailangan mo nang tapusin yung mga requirements. Kasi kung natapos mo yun, di ba, it would give you a sense of relief. Tapos na So, babalik ka na sa level of balance, parang itong gitna, okay? Yung demands is the same as your capabilities. Ibig sabihin, wala stress na nangyayari dito. Okay? Pag ito namang sa pangatlo, nakita niyo po ito, sobrang taas ng capabilities nyo, tapos ito na yung demand, nababa lang, walang stress din dyan. For example, ang task ko lang sa inyo, pare ang demand ko sa inyo, guys, kindly write your name. Write your name, napakadali lang ng demand, di ba? Kaya nyo magsulat. Okay? So, dito yung yung ability nyo, tapos nandito lang yung demand. So, walang stress yon. Okay? So, I hope you understand po, I hope nagigets nyo po siya. Okay? Na hindi po dapat dinedemonize lagi ang stress. Stress actually is very helpful sa katawan. Okay? Kasi imagine kung hindi kayo na-stress, you will be very oblivious and happy-go-lucky and I don't know, baka maging very pabaya. Okay? Kung wala tayo. Para kasi I see stress as an internal alarm clock ng body natin. Na kapag there's something wrong o kumbaga ay meron tayong demands na kailangan i-address or challenges, stress would alarm us to do something. I remember a particular sinasabi na, sorry na. Nalala ko kasi yung isang event in my teaching life. I love doing tests. Though my student hates it. Pero anyway, I remember before, I was giving test papers. These are college students. Medyo mas ano yung mga test nila talaga. Okay? So anyway, student A and student B. So magkakahiwalay sila mga 2 seats apart. Okay? So inabot ko yung test. Tandaan niyo po, this is the same test, the same test. Okay? So the same ng content, okay? The same naman ako ng tinuro sa kanila, magkaklase naman sila. Okay? So I gave the test paper to student A. Okay? So si student A, okay, nung natanggap niya ng test paper, okay, kasi ina-observe ko lagi yung itsura ng mga estudyante ko para gabot ng test paper. So pag abot, tingin muna siya, tapos kamot ng ulo. Ano naman yan? Mahirap-hirap naman ito. Oh my God. Bubulong pa siya pero kaya nadilag ko naman. Okay? So, nakastas. Ang dami-dami sasagutan. Okay? So, pumunta ako kay student B. Si student B, okay, abot ako ng test paper kay student B. Student B was like, tumingin siya sa akin. Tapos tumawa siya. Siyempre, class, medyo creepy yun. Okay? Students do not usually smile kapag binibigyan sila ng test paper. And I was like, bakit ka nakangiti? Okay, because I'm very curious. And sabi niya sa akin, sir, do you remember last sem? Oo, yes. Sabi ko sa inyo, babawi po ako. I would prove you na tataasan ko po. So, between the two, sa tingin nyo, sino yung naging mas mataas yung score? Okay? Well, anyway, hindi ko na mapasagutan sa inyo sa comment section. Medyo siguro I gets nyo na. That is student B. Okay, bakit? Well, one of the factors there is kung paano nila nakita yung challenges, paano nila nakita yung demands. Okay? So, tulad ng lagi din sinasabi, it's not always what happened to you. It's how you interpret what happens to you. Tagalog, hindi yung lagi tungkol sa kung ano nangyayari sa'yo. Okay? Kundi kung paano mo siya nakikita. Okay? Yung test na yun is the same test. It's the same challenge, the same demand. Okay? So, I gave it to student A. Student A sees it as a problem. Okay? Nakita niyo yun as pahirap. Yun ang term niya lagi din, pahirap. Okay? So, syempre, maapektuhan ng iniisip niya, nararamdaman niya at yung behavior niya. Okay? Now, student B sees it as a challenge. He sees it as an opportunity to learn. Okay? So, therefore, yung stressful situation na yun is nagamit niya sa kanyang improvement. Okay? Anyway, yan ko na sinasabi. So, next slide na tayo. Okay, do not forget that one. Yung attitude nyo rin towards things. How do you see things? How do you interpret things that are happening? Okay? Now, ang problem kasi is not stress. Okay? Ito yung gusto kong iwanan din. Hindi pa naman nakatapos. No? Ito yung gusto ko iwanan sa inyo. Hindi stress ang kalaban. Okay? Ang kalaban natin is unmanaged stress. Kapag ang stress ay hindi na-manage, it may result to other mental health concerns. Yan na po yung delikado. Pupunta ka sa kaliwa ng continuum. Okay? Marami pong psychological disorders, ang kanilang causes or origin are stress na hindi na-manage. Parang pinabayaan na lang. Chronic stress. Tuloy-tuloy na siya. Okay? Nagpatong-patong na. Okay? Minsan, yung coping pa, kasi hindi lahat ng coping maganda ha. Kasi may mga coping na hindi helpful. For example, pag-inom. Okay? O kaya pag-drugs. I don't think naman na ginagawa niyo. Okay? O kaya yung mga coping na yan, magagawa muna kayo ng mga bagay na gusto nyo, pero may problema talaga kayo, akala nyo mawawala siya just by watching or playing, pero andun pa rin siya. Magpa-pile up lang siya. Okay? So anyway, if the stress is unmanaged, it would lead to other mental health concerns. Okay? Now, kaya nga po sasabi ko po lagi, ang stress kasi ay normal, so hindi mo siya pwedeng tanggalin sa katawan ng tao, kasi kailangan din natin yun eh. Okay? So ang stress ay hindi ini-eradicate, yun po ay minamanage. Kaya meron tayong mga stress management techniques. Okay? Now, when you put this in the context of the situation natin ngayon, mas tumitindi pa. Bakit? Kasi nga wala pang pandemic before, may stress na kayo, di ba? Stress na kayo sa school at sa mga gawain. Okay? Lalo na ngayon, okay, na bigla tayo quarantine. Ang tawag nga nila ay new normal. Okay? So, may bago tayong risk factor na tinatawag. Makikita niyo po rito, okay? So, ayan, health and well-being of children and adolescents. Kasama kayo rito sa mga adolescents, no? Ang dami po maaaring tingnan niyo po dito, stressors related to economic downturn and social distancing. So these are particular possible stressors na maranasan nyo during this quarantine. No? Isa iba, wag naman sana, child abuse, kasi nandun na kayo sa bahay, nandun lang kayo. Well, let's be honest, some of the people here, baka lang naman, it's not in good terms with the people at home. Okay? And you are forced to be with them. Okay? Well, of course, I know you are trying your best to address that, pero that is another problem that we need to stress naman sa bahay. Okay, parental stress, school closures, reduce regular health check-ups, etc. Okay? So as you can see, maraming problems, no? Mas pinalala pa. At kami po mga mental health professionals ngayon, we're always on the watch. Okay? Kasi pataas ng pataas ang levels ng mga taong may anxiety, na-diagnose with depression. Even yung mga taong meron ng mental health conditions, ang naging malalang problema nila, they cannot access their medicines from their therapist kasi nga because of the lockdown. Okay, so we're trying to transform it into a virtual setting, parang ganito po. No? Okay? And it was very hard kasi it's very stressful both for them and for us. Okay? And paano pa sa inyo, di ba? Okay? So parang, you know, it is very hard. Okay? Pero hindi lang sa inyo, even the teachers. No? I don't want to discredit the teachers administration. Kasi teacher ako. Last nahirapan kayo, nahirapan din mga teacher. Imagine na biglang transition sa ganito, no? And like ko sinasabi, kasi minsan, sa sobrang stress natin, nagiging irritable tayo eh. Being irritable kasi is one of the signs of being stressed. No? Nangyayari minsan, yung estudyante nag-visit sa teacher, yung teacher nag-visit sa estudyante, bakit tayo nagkakainisan? Okay? We're just trying to do our best, both of us. So, bakit hindi na magtulungan na lang tayo? Yun lagi namin pinag-usapan ng estudyante. Kasi I'm more lenient ngayon. I'm usually a strict teacher. Pero sabi ko, this time is not the time to be very strict. Kasi nga, una sa lahat, everyone is, you know, struggling. Okay? And doing their best. Sabi ko, let's see paano natin ito gagawin. Okay? Paano yung hindi makakompromise yung pag-aaral, learning pa din. Right? Okay? So, also tumaas yan. Sabi ko kasi tumaas yung level ng mga taong may anxieties. Okay? Approximately 70% of young people, kasama kayo doon, reported feeling anxious or very anxious about COVID-19 and about what would happen. Okay? Anyway, because of that, okay, so we need to understand gaano kahalaga yung pag-manage ng stress, lalo ngayong online learning. Okay? Well, una sa lahat, of course, it's about productivity and daily survival. Yes, we need to be very clear about this. No? Kasi itong ginagawa natin is, diba? It would affect kung ano yung magiging productivity natin. And yes, as a student, as teachers, or kung ano man trabaho nyo, we need to be productive pa din. Okay? And yun yung part na medyo nakaka-pressure din. Okay? And kasi it's about daily survival, you know, the economy is down. Okay? And the more na hindi tayo gumalaw, okay? Kasi parang ang hirap na naging choice natin ngayon eh, di ba? Ano ba gusto, health or economy? So anyway, medyo mas komplikadong usapan yan. Pero itong ginagawa natin ngayon, kasi ilang buwan na kayo nag-online learning, I don't know, pero kami even before pandemic, mayroon kami online setup. Pero ngayon yung full-blown talaga. Okay? It is about daily survival din. And most of my students would tell me, they would always message me, sir, di ba? Lagi silang nag-request na extension kasi hirap na sila. Kasi nagpa-pile up yung mga activities, tapos less supervision yung nagagawa namin. Kasi iba talaga kapag harapan, mas nakakausap sila, mas nagagabayan. Okay? Also, nandiyan pa yung mga problem ng internet connectivity, nandiyan pa yung problem ng, the bagyo. Okay? Ang dami daming risk factors. No? And of course, yung personal and family problem nyo pa. Okay? So, patong-patong na siya. So, pag wala tayong ginawa, it would really affect our mental health. Okay? So, how would we cope with online learning now? Okay, I have some tips here. Okay, in managing stress during the online class. Okay, so disclaimer lang po, no? Okay, yung mga tips na ito in managing stress, hindi porket lahat sila ay effective din siya sa iyo. Okay, what is effective sa isang tao, sa isang coping strategy or self-care technique might not be effective sa isa. So you should know or you should try then, okay, and test what would be efficient for you. Okay, ano yung effective ba? Okay, para sa iyo. Anyway, I will share you some. I have 10 here. Okay, una po. Okay, remember to take breaks. So, pahinga rin. I remember, pag matatapos na yung SEM, and I'm very proud of my students, I would tell them, okay, puro aral, magwalwal na ba kayo? Pero tamang walwal lang, ha? Hindi bigla mag-iinuman or just kung pa gagawin. May mga tamang walwal lang. Kasi they deserve it. You deserve it. Okay? Bakit na masyadong pahirapan yung sarili nyo? Okay? Kahit yung mga small successes nyo, okay, or progress, you celebrate that, okay? Siguro sabi, sir, ang OA naman doon. Nakatapos na ako ng one item, may celebrate ko na yun. Why not? Okay? At least meron kang progress. Kasi kesa naman wala kang ginawa at all. Okay? At least yun kasi talagang, ang ending kasi naman yan, gagawa ka. Okay? So, at least habang nag-progress, you acknowledge it that you're doing your best to answer, no? It could be a stretch break or a snack when kain lang. Yung mga estudyante ko, what they do, they have a particular schedules daw pag-rekwento nila sa akin. example, ito sir, pag natapos na namin itong unang question, or dalawa, or unang task, kain muna po ako. Papahinga, o kaya manonood po ako ng nakakatawang video sa TikTok or sa YouTube. Ano naman yun? Okay, basta huwag ka lang tatambay doon, ha? Kasi, syempre, delikado din minsan, eh. Nag-aaral ka, bukas na lahat ng mga props mo, di ba? O, libro here, modules here, nakabukas na yung net. Tapos biglang napasilip ka sa TikTok and YouTube, and dire-diretso na. Okay? So, discipline. Okay? It's very important. Okay? So you can also do breathing exercises. Okay, I do this a lot. My meditation. You can do the 4-7-8 technique. That is, you breathe in, you inhale. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, inhale. You hold it in at 7, 5, 6, 7. Then sa 8, bigla mo siyang dahan-dahang i-exhale. Do it 4 times. So, gusto ko sana i-demonstrate ngayon kaso we have less time. Okay? And marami pong mga mindfulness activities sa pwedeng gawin. Okay? Palawa po, okay? Engage and connect with your instructors, classmates, technical support, or accessibility services. Okay, so I hope you have pero feeling ko lang meron yan. Okay, you have a communication with your teachers, with your school, with the school, especially kung mga technical problems kayo. And you always talk to your teachers. Okay? The teachers, kami ay nandito para tumulong. Yes, kami din na stressor nyo, alam ko. Kasi kami nagbibigay ng mga requirements or mga kailangan gawin. Okay? And sabi nga sa ko estudyante, nalulungkot daw siya kasi parang nung mga simula ng quarantine, they're toiling me, sir, natututo pa ba talaga kami o nag-survive na lang? That's a good question. So, pinag-usapan namin yun, no? Na parang, iba kasi parang gumagawa lang, parang may pasa lang. Okay? So, kasi nag-a-adjust pa lang tayo. Pero nung mga recent time na kapana namin kung ano yung tamang, paano ba yung tama namin collaboration or cooperation. Para kahit ganito, okay, meron pa rin learning. Okay? And mahalaga maintindihan nyo rin po na hindi naman namin gusto kayo syempre mahirapan. Pero it's part of the process. Okay? It's part of the process. And trust the process po. Okay? We do not get, if you want to learn, walang shortcuts sa learning. Okay? You need to be very hardworking. It's hardworking. Pero syempre, kahit sinabi ko yun, kailangan, meron pa rin kayong self-care techniques. Tao pa din kayo. Okay? Pangatlo po, organize, okay? So this is very challenging for most people, okay? Plan your week and months. Iba kasi nagpa-planner. Ako, meron pong 4 na planners. Meron pong 4 na planners and journal because I have a lot of things to do. Okay? And minsan, I will be honest with you, iba doon, medyo nalagpasan ko. Pero it's very important for me kasi I can organize my thoughts. Okay? Minsan yung mga nag-overlap. Diba? Okay? So kailangan clear sa iyo ano mangyayari. Usually, this is what you can do bago kayo matulog. You check, okay, what you would do tomorrow. Na kung hindi kayo yung tipo ng tao na mahilig sa mga ganito, yung sulat ng planners or organized, okay, you can actually do it another way, no? Basta meron kayong nare-record. Okay? Kasi iba yung nagsusulat, iba nilalagay sa desktop, nilalagay sa cellphone, okay? Iba nilalagay na alarm. Okay? Mahalaga lang, it's very important na dito, meron kayong reminders. And next po, use time blocking or the Pomodoro technique. Maybe you are familiar with the Pomodoro technique na kasi medyo kumakalat to sa Facebook last time. I used Pomodoro techniques before, hanggang ngayon naman, okay? To increase your focus and productivity. Sa Pomodoro technique, ang pinakamadaling ano lang yan, ang sinasabi niyan, okay? Kasi minsan sabog daw tayo may ginagawa tayong task, okay? Na parang wala tayong fixed time of doing it, unless kung meron kayong fixed time sa klase. Hindi siya fixed. So, pag ganun siya, for example, papasok ka ng minsan nga, di ba, pagkagising mo, diretso online class, wala pang ligo yan. Okay? So na ano mo na kagad yung breakfast at yung mga launa dapat. Tapos noon class, tapos sunod siguro nagba-browse ka, tapos online games, tapos sagot, tapos tinamad ka, online games ulit. So hindi na siya maayos. Okay? So kailangan nating ayusin yung blockings. Kaya nga we call it time blocking or Pomodoro technique. Okay? This particular na unang oras, saan siya nakalaan? Okay. For example, morning, nakalaan muna ba siya sa pag-aaral, advanced reading or sa sagot requirements? Okay, or pag-attend sa synchronous classes. Okay, pagdating ng hapon, baka may free time ka dyan, pwede ka maglagay dyan ng pahinga muna o snack. Okay, and then online games, mga 2 hours. Okay lang yung 2 hours as long as nagawa mo na yung gagawin mo. Okay, so ganun siya. Okay, and you try your best to follow it. Okay, anyway, pang-5 po, okay, small steps are still valid. Ito sinasabi sa inyo po kanina. You acknowledge even the small steps. Kasi minsan, di ba? Masyadong mataas standards sa sarili natin Napansin ko yan sa mga estudyante ko. Mataas ang standards sa sarili natin. Okay, I'm not saying it's wrong. What I'm saying is kasi, ang tendency kasi natin, ino-compare natin yung sarili natin sa iba. So, ano problema ko dito? Okay. Well, meron kasi estudyante, ang standard lang niya na, okay na siya, for example, kung ang exam is 100, up to 100, Siya yung tipo ng tao na pag 50, pag nakakalahati na, yes, I'm so happy. Okay? Meron namang mga estudyante na kailangan perfect. O kaya 99. Diba? Para ano, meron kasi kaklase natin naka-99 siya over 100 tapos sabi niya, "My God, I'm so stupid." Nahiya naman ako, naka-51 over 100 lang ako. Okay? Pero tawag dito, I have nothing against those people. It just mean that we have different standards to ourselves. And minsan ang naging problema doon, hindi mo na na-appreciate yung mga progress mo. Parang napaka-highfalutin ng kailangan mong ma-achieve muna bago pakataas, bago mo ma-acknowledge, bago mo i-top yung sarili mo. Very good. Okay? Pero guys, please, okay, do not to be maging masyadong hard to yourself. Kasi at the end of the day, sino ba magkasama? Kayo ng sarili mo. Paano pag nag-uusap kayo? When you talk to yourself, when pag nagmumuni-muni kayo, paano kayo nag-uusap? Yung sarili mo ba ay kaibigan mo o kaaway mo? Siya ba yung una nagki-criticize sa'yo? Siya yung una nag-i-encourage sa'yo? What do you think about it? Next po. Okay? Look over your physical health. Okay, hindi pwedeng, yes, oh, I know, mental health is important, yes. Siyempre, physical and mental health comes hand in hand. Okay? So, get quality sleep. Now, I'm very sure marami sa inyo po yan. Marami sa inyo ay ilang oras lang ang tulog. This is very rampant ngayon sa mga kabataan. No? Marami kayong kinapupuyatan. Okay? And that is not good, actually. Alam ko naman alam niyo yun. Okay? Pero minsan, you just can't help it. Minsan di mo na makita. Oras na nakalipas. Natulog tayo na madaling araw, gising tayo na maaga. Minsan wala pa kayong tulog. And it's not something that you should be proud about. Okay? Medyo nag-aalala ko pag nakita ko yung mga ganong sinashare na sa estudyante ko na tawag dito, sleep is for the weak. May kayo sa mga memes eh. Okay? Kaya tawag dito, excuse me, yung parang proud na proud kayo na wala kayong tulog. Okay? Well, siguro, ginagawa nyo ng katatawanan, di ba? Kasi ganun mag-cope eh. Yeah, even meme sharing is a coping strategy para ganun mag-address ng problema. Pero, aside sa mga memes, sana alagaan nyo yung sarili nyo, Diyos ko naman. Kasi you have only one life. Okay? And, how would you do that? Okay, medyo cliche pakinggan, pero yes, exercise and proper diet is very important. Okay? Kung ano yung pinapasok nyo sa katawan nyo, yung pinakain nyo, it would affect your brain. Ito ba nagagaling iba? Sa tingin nyo, saan nagagaling yung fuel ng brain? Yung pinakain ng mga cells sa utak natin, ng neurons? Yung galing sa mga kinakain natin. So, if you eat proper food, example, rich in proper protein, meron kayong proper balance ng mga leaves, vegetables, and fruits, bawasan nyo na. Hindi ko naman tanggalin nyo totally. Bawasan nyo na yung mga tawag dito, tulad dito, kakainom ko ng Coke Zero. Okay, after 1 month. Okay. Mabawas lang. Okay. Hindi naman totally tatanggalin, especially kung nakasanayan. Okay, chichirya, mga tawag dito, healthy, ano to pa nung uso sa inyo sa amin. Bawas-bawasan lang, ha? Unti-unti lang. Hindi ko naman sabing tanggalin nyo kagad kasi mahirap tanggalin sa sistema yan eh. Pero itry nyo rin mas damihan na yung mas healthy ng mga pagkain. Alam nyo naman kung anong healthy, diba? And you exercise, please. Okay? Kahit yung mga simple exercise lang. Kasi bakit? Pag nag-exercise kayo, yung utak natin naglalabas ng endorphins yan. And endorphins would help you to be more alert at mas maganda yung feeling. And of course, so physical health nyo rin para maiwasan yung ibang mga sakit. So, pang-pito po, okay, sana hindi ka ako nag-overtime na. Okay. So, just as important your physical health, again, value your mental health as well. So, how would we do that? Kasama po itong ginagawa natin ngayon. No? Okay? Now, sunod po, okay, 8, check with yourself. Okay? Because you matter. Huwag mo makalimutan. Okay? Kasi, as I told you kanina, at the end of the day, you have you and yourself. Kaya pag nag-uusap kayo sa sarili mo, okay, what do you hear? What do your, ano sinasabi ng sarili mo sa'yo? Kung mag-isa ka na lang sa kwarto na kaganyan. Pwede di ba sa gabi, mapasok yung mga thoughts niya. So, try to evaluate. Kamusta ka talaga? Okay? Try to ask yourself. Okay? Now, next po, make time for the things that you love doing. Obviously, there are things that you love doing. No? Okay? Such as your passions and hobbies. Or some of you loves drawing or sketching or photography, video editing, okay, online games, right? So it will help you with your sanity. Okay? Yes, kasi these things, these recreational activities, yung passion mo, yung mga bagay na gusto mong gawin, basta hindi naman siya harmful sa iba. Always try to find time to do it. Usually sa weekends, kuwari ako in my case, kasi I love to read and meditate and naglalaro-laro din ako from time to time. I always make it to a point to do that kasi mahalaga yun for my sanity and self-care. Okay? So, hindi naman pag porket teacher ako, talagang lahat na lang. Check, gawa exam. I'm still human. So I told you po, no, you are a human first before anything else. Let's go. Journal, okay? Journal is very helpful. Bakit? Kasi especially pag marami ka nararamdaman at naiisip, it would help you to, ilabas. Ikaw yung tipo ng tao na hindi ka masyadong comfortable in sharing your thoughts and feelings. Pwede mong gawin ito. Meron akong thought. Nakita ko talaga. Meron akong thought notebook here. Hindi ko na makita. Ako nakalagay yung mga thoughts ko minsan. What I feel. Kasi mas napaprocess yun eh. Mas na ano siya pag sinusulat natin. Para ka na rin may kausap. Okay? So you will be able to understand yourself more and learn the possible roots and causes of feelings. And this is isa rin maganda rito. Kasi when you read it, after you write it, binalikan mo siya. So, meron kang realization dyan na, okay, kaya pala siguro ganito kasi ganito. Meron kayong mga connections na nagagawa. So therefore, you would now know how to help yourself better. Okay? Okay, and don't forget, it's always okay to ask for help. Especially if some of you ngayon nanonood ngayon, you really feel that hindi mo na kaya talaga mag-isa, na you need professional help. We are here. Meron po mga mental health professionals, psychometricians, psychologists, guidance counselors, at kahit hindi mga ano, we are here to help. Also, we have hotlines here, no? Katulad ng hotline. Napakadami na po ngayon mga free consultations din kasi estudyante kayo. So, medyo binibida ko yung mga free consultation. No? Usually, kasi mas may bayad. Kasi some of my students would tell me na discourage sila kasi may bayad yung pagpunta sa psychologist. Okay lang punta sa psychologist, please let's stop this stigma na pagpunta sa psychologist, baliw. Usually, that's people would say, no? No, okay? Actually, pagpunta sa psychologist should be as normal as going to a doctor for a check-up. Okay? Bakit? Para ka na magpapa-check up din. Kahit wala ka nararamdaman ng kaiba, if you just feel na you just need to check on your mental health from time to time, you can go to a psychologist and psychological assessment. Okay? Para syempre, maagapan natin. Okay? At kung meron na namang na-develop na disorder, again, we are here to help. Okay? Now, for example, after this, you have concerns or questions kasi wala tayong masyadong time. Okay? You can message me naman or yung page po, yung group po namin, Sinag-Diwa. Okay? We are very much willing to help you. Okay? Now, here are some other tips. No? Self-care, stress management, and healthy coping. Ito pa yung pwedeng gawin. You try to reframe your thoughts. Okay? Yan. You reframe your thoughts by doing something else. Productive din naman and enjoyable for you. Okay? So, know when to switch off. Alam niyo dapat kailangan mag-take a break. Sabi ko na kanina yan. Focus on the needs of others as well. Katulad po nito nakaraan, kasi ako I'm very much involved sa community sa volunteerism. So, went to a lot of places, Masanta ng Bagyo. Okay, lately I have been in the animal shelter. We are one of our beneficiaries sa mga magiging projects namin. We went there. It's always nice if you can see that you can help someone as long as kaya mo. Okay? Kasi in the same time, it would help you then to understand yourself. And good for your mental health din yun. Okay, so reach out to loved ones. Okay, gamitin natin yung pagkakaroon ng internet connection sa ating advantage. So you can call your family, your friends from time to time. Okay, create a new schedule kung di effective yung schedule nyo. And again, seek for professional help. Okay? Now, I would like to ask lang din, okay? Malapit-lapit na tayo matapos eh. How do you cope? Ano yung sarili nyong self-care routine? Okay, hindi pwedeng puro skincare routine lang tayo. So dapat meron din kayo self-care routine. Self-care is a must. Okay? So, ano po yung ginagawa niyo for your self-care to make, para masigurado niyo that you are actually, dito, na pag na-stress kayo, anong ginagawa niyo as stress management techniques, okay? Ano po yung mga coping strategies niyo or self-care? Ano natin? Exercise. Okay? Uwiin po yung tulog. Yeah, okay. Dancing. Physical activities, magagalaw kayo. Showers, yes, especially mga warm bath, that would be very helpful din. Basta pwede sa inyo. Quiet time, watching movies, naghuhugas ng pinggan. Yeah, actually, hindi sila naniniwala. So there's a research na nagsasabi na paghuhugas ng pinggan, it actually would lessen stress. Kasi ang nangyayari doon, nare-redirect kasi, nare-reframe yung thoughts nyo. Diba minsan masyado kayo mindful maghugas ng pinggan. Ako lang yun. Parang, na-enjoy mo lang siya. Nare-reframe mo lang. Especially the thought na meron ka nagagawang productive. Mga naglilinis pa ng bahay. Okay? Sleep po, foods. Basta yung healthy food sana ha. Listening to music, playing with dogs, playing with friends online, watching YouTube videos. That's good kasi you know how to help yourself din. And I hope these are yung on the long run talagang magiging very helpful at hindi maging harmful. Kasi may ibang coping na nangyayari, nagiging harmful siya in the long run. Okay, nagba-backfire. Okay? For example, stress eating, tawag, no? Iba sa pala stress, medyo guilty ako dyan. Very good point, no? Kasi ako, kain ako ng ano. Usually, ang utak kasi natin, pag na-stress tayo, it would crave for food na high in sodium and high in sugar. Kaya usually ang comfort food nyo, kung mapansin nyo, kung hindi maalat, matamis. At minsan ano pa yan, in cycle. Pagkatapos mo kumain ng maalat, maghanap ka ng matamis. Okay? And the cycle goes on. Okay? So, it would backfire kasi bakit yung physical health naman natin yung problema. No? Anyway, we have a lot of actually we have a lot of activities pa sa aming group and sa YouTube channel namin. So, YouTube na magtuturo po kami ng mga healthy na mga coping din at other segments doon. Kasi lang mga medyo lumalow-key promotion na po ako. Okay? Kasi dito. Yeah, I would like to share more pa pero we have limited time. Okay? Anyway, ito rin, I think kailangan ko i-share din sa inyo since babad naman tayo sa social media and sa cellphone. Okay? So these are actually applications that are useful for mental health. I use some of this. Okay? So pwede nyo i-download itong mga to. Okay, I usually use this, yung Calm, Happify, so Meetbeat, Calm. Ito po mga apps na to actually would help you to monitor your mental health. Meron din sila mga tips dyan. And meron din sila minsan mga guided meditation. Okay? So these are good. Sana malaki naman siguro memory ng nyo dito. Ng phone. Baka naman makapasok kahit isa lang dito doon. I would send siguro a link of this. Also, itong link na ito, maybe I would send this then later po sa chat. Okay? When you open this link, okay, magalandi yan clickbait. When you open that link, you would be redirected in the list of clinics, organizations na nag-offer po ng free consultation, counseling, okay, para po sa mga I would share that as well. Okay? Kasi inipon po namin yung mga centers and organizations. Okay? And yeah, we're very happy kasi ngayon, noong 2018 na isa batas ng Philippine Mental Health Law, amen. Okay? So ngayon, medyo mas mailalapit na yung mental health awareness and health unti-unti sa communities and sa inyo. Okay? Kasi even the students, malaki yung emphasis ng law na kailangan the students must be protected from harm sa kanilang mental health. Okay? And please, ayan po, pasensya na, low-key promotion. Ayan, so kung okay lang naman po sa inyo, i-follow po kami if you want to know more or to join more. Marami po kami activities pa sa Sinagdiwa. Okay? Ito po, meron po kami sa Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube channel. You can follow us po. You can message us if you have concerns or proposed activities. Pwede po. Okay? And maybe I would leave you sa ano muna. Okay lang po bang mag-share ng video? Just a 3-minute video lang. Okay, before I end. Okay lang po ba? Kasya pa po ba sa Sabit lang po ito.
Until the dawn, we were calling out familiar thoughts. When we'd find spaces that we once dreamed of, Bright eyes taking in, wondering when it begins. Quiet sky, open mind, and all the fear cast aside. Sunrise, I ever is fast in the flame. Sunrise from my weary heart, that a new day will soon arrive. New day will soon arrive. Pull the windows down to the wild wind. Better days arrive, darling, if we let them in. Quiet sky, open mind, all the fear cast aside. Sunrise, I ever is fast in the flame. Sunrise from my weary heart, that a new day will soon arrive. New day will soon arrive. Marijuana, 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 marijuana. Sunrise, I ever is fast in the flame. Sunrise from my weary heart, that a new day will soon arrive. New day will soon arrive. Sunrise, I ever is fast in the flame. Sunrise from my weary heart, that a new day will soon arrive. New day will soon arrive.
Hello po. Ayun. So, ayun po. Kasi last September po, we celebrated our first year anniversary sa Sinag Diwa. Those are just some of our activities po. Sa Sinag Diwa po, we are a group of mental health professionals, mental health advocates that we wanted to bring mental health awareness and health closer to communities po. No? So if you want to learn more and to know more po, you may follow our pages po. And I guess I would just end with this particular quote from Malcolm X. Dahil sabi po niya, when I is replaced with we, even illness becomes wellness. Sana po lahat kayo ay maging kakampi po namin sa aming advocacy of mental health. Thank you so much po for listening and good afternoon po sa lahat.
So yes, thank you, sir. Our heartfelt gratitude and appreciation for your in-depth and relevant discussion, as well as for lending your time and educating all of us here in coping with our daily problems with stress. Assuredly, it's a substantial conversation that somehow evoked our sleeping thoughts about a certain idea and made us recognize the reality of the world we're living. Thank you for accepting our invitation, sir. So, following our tradition, of course, after the discussion, I'm going to ask you questions to test whether you have understand fully what Mr. Pagtalunan have discussed. So the same still, we have prizes for those who can answer the questions. So okay, for the first question is, actually fill in the blank. So I'm gonna give you a statement and you're gonna fill what's in the blank. So the statement here is, stress is the body's internal blank. So if you want to answer, you can chat or you can speak here. Okay, the first question is, stress is the body's internal blank. Anyone who wants to answer? Anyone? Okay, everybody's taking their time. It's fine. So yun, paulit daw. So yung tanong is, fill in the blanks. So yung tanong is, stress is the body's internal blank.
Alarm clock.
Sino yung sumagot? Sino yung sumagot?
I think that's that too. Yeah.
Wait, Datu. So Datu, your answer is correct. So stress is the internal body's alarm. So you have the choice to choose what price you want to take for answering the question correctly.
Wala bang keychain?
Ayun lang yung choices.
Canva.
Sige, Canva. Okay. Okay. Next question. Second question. What are the types of stressors?
Ako.
Okay, Dizon.
Eustress at saka distress.
Okay, you answered correctly. What price do you want?
Gcash.
Okay, Gcash.
Thank you.
Thank you then. Third question naman. According to the discussion kanina, if it is not stress that results into other mental health issues, then what it is?
Ano, Mark?
According to the discussion kanina, if it is not stress that results to mental health issues, then what it is?
Managing stress.
Unmanaged
Ayun,
stress.
unmanaged.
Ay, sino sumagot? Okay, sa chat na una sumagot si Cesar. Cesar Balagtas. Nauna siyang sumagot. Ang sagot niya is unmanaged stress, which is correct. So, Cesar, choose your price. Okay. Load daw. Okay, thank you. So, okay. Last question. Can you give at least one tip in effectively managing stress during online class?
Organize po. Look over your physical health.
Okay. Sino sumagot yung Christopher? Christopher, tama yung sagot mo. So, ano yung price na gusto mong makuha? You can chat
Load na lang po.
Okay, load na lang. So, you can claim your prices to our president, Ms. Maria Priscilla Fuentes. So, we have finished our second speaker. So, thank you po ulit, Sir Mr. Pagtalon.
Yes, thank you, sir.
No problem po. Always welcome. Thank you so much din po for your invitation. And always take care po sa lahat. Thank you po.
Thank you, sir. Thank you po. Okay, we would also like to acknowledge again, once more, the presence of Mr. Ardan Villanueva, the academic head of UNIDA Christian Colleges, as well as the presence of our schoolmates from different strands. So, for our last speaker of today's event, we have Ms. Gracil M. Lagdamat. She is the Regional Training Director of JCI Imus Pagayway. She has also served as the president of the stated organization. Aside from this, Ms. Lagdamat also took on the role of being an advisor of the Supreme Student Government of Imus National High School, Maine, the Rise Up batch. She took on all of these titles while teaching junior high school students in INHS Maine. Let us again welcome Ms. Gracil M. Lagdamat.
Hello guys! Magandang hapon. Alam niyo, saya-saya ko kasi habang binubuksan ko yung Google Meet, no? Chine-check ko yung mga nandito sa loob kung sino sila. Para lang akong nagturo sa high school, no? para rin ako uli bumalik doon ng year 2018. Kasi ang dami ko dito naging estudyante na part rin ng SSG. Ayun, yan si Franz, part siya ng SSG ko. Ayan, may tumawag mo sa akin sa labas. Okay, di ba? Ganun talaga ang buhay kapag live tayo. Medyo kailangan nating tumahimik muna. Wait. Okay, so balik tayo sa ating dapat talakayin ngayong araw na ito. Ayan. Last speaker na ba ako? Franz, Miss Franz?
Yes, ma'am. You're the last speaker.
Huwag kayong mag-alala. So we're going to take this short, very short lamang. Kasi alam kong fully loaded na yung mga utak natin with all the information that was given to you. Kanina pang bandang alauna ng tanghali. So magpe-present na ako ng aking slides. Wait lang guys ha. So parang first time ko yata itong gumamit na ako yung mag-share screen lang. Okay. Yan. Nakikita nyo na ba ang aking pinapresent? Hindi pa pala.
Yes,
Naglo-loading pa lang siya. Ayan! Okay, so sabi nga kanina, nakita niyo sa program. So a part of your program is the introduction for the UNSDG. Ayan, nakita ninyo. So I'm a part of JCI Muswagaybay. Katulad ni Sir kanina, no? He's also a member of a non-profit organization or a certain organization, no? So very active siya with the community outreach program. So ganon din po si Ma'am. So ang tawag nila sa akin Lady L. Lady L Lagdamat ha, baka iba ibig sabihin ninyo sa L, bahala na kayo sa mga buhay ninyo. But then, L stands for Lagdamat. And I quote that one, that's a learning is always fun. Ay, natatawa yung iba dyan. Ganun po talaga ako, very, very energetic ako guys magturo kahit man lang sa virtual and sa loob ng classroom. Pero mas gusto ko talaga nagtuturo ko inside the classroom kasi parang feel ko talaga na teacher ako. Oh, di ba ako na teacher talaga? Okay, so ano ba itong UNSDG? UNSDG dyan, nakikita ninyo. Ayan. So what is UNSDG? Okay. So ito yung meaning, syempre, bigyan muna natin siya ng meaning, di ba? So this, the meaning of UNSDG is United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So sabi nga, have you ever wondered why? Bakit nangyayari ng lahat na ito sa ating mundo? Bakit may pandemic? So ito ay kagagawan din natin, no? Kagagawan ng tao. So the United Nations actually, yung UNSDG na yan, it started noong 2000 pa, no? They called that one as Millennium Development Goals. So nag-start pa lang sila, no, to look for the problems in the world, no, na i-address, no, na kasi ang mundo natin ngayon ay punong-puno na ng problema, no? Kayo ba hindi kayo namamblema, guys? Ako namamblema ako Bakit may pandemic? Di ako makalabas, di makawalwal si ma'am. So, nag-iisip ako kung bakit nagkakaganito ang ating mundo ngayon. And then by the 2012, no, so it was changed, the name was changed into Sustainable Development Goals. So, ito yung mga time na medyo china-chop-chop nila kung ano ba talaga yung mga dapat na problema na i-address ng buong mundo. And then in 2015, it was named as the UNSDG na iniisip na o binibigyan ng solusyon ng United Nations dapat na siya ay ma-solve na by the year 2030. So, yun po, no? So, bakit may UNSDG? Because we have different problems that the world is facing. And part ng problema ngayon ng mundo ay eto ngayon, yung the pandemic. But before we proceed to relate ko yung UNSDG with your program, which is the mental health. Mental health talaga, parang kailangan ko yon ng bonggang-bongga. So ano nga ba yung 17 UNSDGs? So based on my slides, ayan, nakita dyan, number 1 is the poverty, number 2, the hunger, and well-being, and so on and so forth. But we're going to focus on the third one, which is the UNSDG goal, which is the good health and well-being. So sabi nga kanina guys, ni Sir Jax, no, ang dami niyong, kami as teacher, kami stressor niyo ba? Stressor niyo ba kami? Oy, bongga, hindi Ako, hindi ako stressor. Kasi sumusunod lang ako doon sa sa patakaran ng DepEd. Pero minimize ko yung mga requirements na binibigay ko with my students. Kasi ayoko sumabay doon sa mga requirements na binibigay sa kanila with na kanila ibang teachers. So kailangan kasi natin talaga ng education. So tiis-tiis lang guys, no? So sabi nga dito, health of the people is declining. Yes, that is true, which leads to the increase of the number of deaths. Ano nga, maraming illnesses na lumalabas ngayon, like this one, the COVID-19, no? And aside from that, a lot of people committing suicides, na in which saan ba sila may kakulangan, no? So yung katawan natin and our minds are always connected with each other. So paano tayo makakatulong sa ating community o sa ating bansa, no? Kung hindi natin matutulungan mismo yung ating sarili. So that is why mental health is very important for us. So each and every one of us guys, no, para makatulong tayo, no, makashare tayo on what we have for our community. So if there is a problem, there's always a solution. So the awareness of the people on how to take care of their health and mental health is a part of this UNSDG. So mayroon kanina binabanggit si Sir, mayroon siyang 10 binanggit doon kanina, no? So those are the things that we need to do, no? Hindi man lahat natin magawa, but some of those things masunod natin siya para at least malang kahit paano ma-lessen yung burden natin, no? As a person or as a student, na tayo ay magkaroon ng active lifestyle, no? Hindi tayo mabore, hindi tayo ma-stress, hindi tayo ma-depress sa ating nagawa. A lot of my students actually, sabi kay Sir ganun din, no? Na stressful na sila sa buhay nila. And yung iba nakakaramdam na ng depression. Hindi lang naman kayo, no? Ako din naman, nakakaramdam din naman ng depression, no? So, marami rin kami guys trabaho. So, what are the things that we're doing? We plan. Kailangan namin magplano, kailangan namin i-organize yung isip namin. Bakit? Para magkaroon naman ng maayos magkaroon kami ng sistematikong pamumuhay para lahat ng requirements namin ay maipasa namin. So dapat ganon din kayo, no? So maraming binigay kanina si Sir na mga information, inputs, no, na pwede nating masunod on how to take care of our mental health. And if our mind is healthy, magkakaroon din tayo ng healthy lifestyle, magkakaroon tayo ng healthy body, and connected na rin yun, magkakaroon tayo ng healthy environment. Okay, so yun po yung kabuuan, actually the kabuuan ng UNSDG, but we only focus here on the number 3, which is the good health and well-being. This UNSDG is a part of the project of JCI Imus Magayway in educating the youth, no, on how can we help the community and how can we address each one of them as a person. Hindi man tayo politicians, hindi man tayo mga administrador na ating pamahalaan, but we can share as a person to our community with this, na as a simple citizen of our country. Okay? So with this, no, actually etong UNSDG na to, sabi ko si Sir meron ding YouTube, kami po meron din po YouTube. Ako po personally meron, no. Nilalagay ko po lahat ng kalokohan ko doon. Charot! Aside sa kalokohan ko doon, lahat ng lesson ko and a part of this UNSDG, yung 17 po, ay gagawan po namin ng vlogs para po ma-educate po yung mga students natin. Because we really need this one. We need to be aware of what's happening in our community kasi we are part of the solution. We are part of the problem, at the same time, we are part of the solution. Okay, with this guys, this is Lady L. Thank you so much. Yun lang po, very short na po ang aking explanation with the UNSDG. Thank you so much. Yan.
And thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Lady L, for your talk. It's glad to see you here again in our independent project. Thank you for your partnership as well, ma'am.
Now that we're nearing the end of our program, After the presentation of certificates, we will have another raffle and everyone has a chance of winning.
So yeah, make sure to stay here while we read all the certificates because your presence will serve as your raffle entry for our final raffle. Thank you, Miguel.
So, yun po. To acknowledge our guest speakers, we would like to present the certificate of appreciation to Miss Bea Patricia Beladas.
Thank you. And then we'd like to present the certificate of appreciation this certificate is presented for their magnanimous contribution to the Mind College.
The next certificate to be given is to Ms. Grace M. Lagdamat for her participation in giving us some insights about mental health awareness and overall health awareness.
Next certificate of appreciation is for the
And the next certificate is to be given to GTI Imus Lagayway.
Now, their certificate of appreciation will also have certificate of recognition for the persons involved in this project, in the success of this project. First is this certificate of recognition is presented to Michael Francis Date for their magnanimous contribution to the Mindcology, coping from academic stress in times of remote learning webinar, given this 12th day of December 2020. Congratulations. And for her prayer, the certificate of recognition is presented to Angela Christine Hood. again, for another one who played in this event, we have Bea Maria Cosetti del Rosario. Another certificate of recognition is given to Prince Jinbert de la Cruz.
Another certificate of recognition is to be given to Noel Canyamor. Oh. So,
And of course, certificate of recognition to the MC of this event, my partner Mark Cedric H. Sapungan.
And yes, to give the certificate of recognition to my partner, Francis Bertilla, being the master of ceremony for this event.
And lastly, of course, a certificate of recognition to our president of the Deuteronomy Drive Towards Self-Care Organization, Priscilla Lynn L. Fuentes.
And yes, for our final we will have 2 winners of 50 pesos recap or load and 2 winners of 100 pesos recap or load. We will be using a wheel of our 4 lucky winners.
Again, we will have 4 winners, 2 recipients of 50 pesos, and 2 recipients of 100 peso prize. So in order to get our winner, we'll be asking Angela Hular to present her screen for a spin wheel.
Oh, nice.
And also for our participants, our attendees, don't worry, you will be receiving your certificate of participation through email. So everyone, can you check your name on the wheel so that we can proceed with drawing for the raffle? So, are there any names missing on our wheel?
Sa akin nata.
Johnny Francisco Hular, can you check it? As well as John Vincent Balambao. Okay. As much as possible, ayokong Dots yung manalo kasi para sa Dots din galing yung yung prize. So pag Dots yung napili, magre-roll tayo para mapili yung mga yung ibang participants.
Pati na tayo nagroleta ng maraming pangalan.
For formality, bakit? Charot lang.
Pinaikot na ba?
So our winner is Miss Angela Joshua Baltazar. Angela.
Check. Paramdam ka naman. Hello. Nandito ka ba? Nandito ka pa ba?
Yan. She or he won 50 peso worth of load or Gcash. Reroll? No, for our next winner, Shobi, reroll. We have, Dayan Baholano.
Ayun, nice.
Dayan, are you here?
Anong price niya?
50 pesos Gcash or loaded. Dayan Baholano. For our next winner, we have, who do we have? Oh, BFF! Benedict Christian R. Santos. Ben! Alam ko andyan ka. Ben!
Manalo ka. Donate mo na lang, please.
Ben, are you there? Masaya ka ba, Ben? You won 100 pesos Gcash or low. Masaya ka ba?
Ayaw niya ata. Amin na lang.
Ayaw mo ba, Ben? Picture. So, yeah, for our last winner, also recipient of 100 pesos load or Gcash. This is our last winner.
Ano ako? 70 ko.
Detro!
Congrats!
Detro, masaya ka ba?
Uuwi
Ay, wala
ka.
pala siyang mic na.
May pera.
Wala ba ako dyan sa wheel? So, ayun, this concludes our first project, the Mindcology by the DTS. Before we close this meet, let us take picture for photo docu. Open your cameras. Ooh. Thank you, Mom Steph. Aim high, UCC. Are we ready for the picture taking?
Go, go, go. Post na kayo.
Open na ba yung cameras? Picture. Prince, are we ready for the picture? Are you ready for the picture?
Wait lang. Ako pala. Kala ko kayo.
Yep. Also, while we're waiting for Prince, let us call our president, Priscilla Lynn L. Fuentes, for her closing remarks.
Good afternoon. Before
Yay!
we close,
Congrats!
before we close this afternoon ceremony, I'd like to take this last opportunity to say, on behalf of the Deuteronomy Drive Towards Self-Care, thank you for our guest speakers, Miss Bea, Sir Jax, and Miss Grace, for sharing your knowledge regarding mental health and coping with academic stress. We are grateful for the time and the effort you took to share your thoughts and experiences through this webinar. I appreciate all of you for joining this event and making it also memorable with the help of our project advisor, Ms. Roby, our grade level coordinator, Ms. Jack, our academic head, Sir Arlan, and the rest of our teachers for making this event possible. And I would like to thank Sinagdiwa volunteers and JCIE Muswagayway for your invaluable partnership. It's been a pleasure being with all of you today. Thank you for all of your time and patience. I wish you all a good day.
Yay! And to officially close this event, our very first event, let us call Angela Hular for her prayer.
Tayong lahat ay tumungo. Lord, maraming salamat po dahil naging matagumpay ang aming proyekto. Maraming salamat din po sa mga guest speakers at sa mga dumalo ngayon sa aming webinar. Naway may natutunan po ang bawat isa sa amin ngayong araw at sana po ay malagpasan namin ang mga pagsubok sa aming buhay. Maraming salamat po sa pagbibigay katalinuhan at paggabay sa amin ngayong araw. In Jesus' name we pray, Amen.
Amen. So, ayun, are we ready for the picture? Thank you. Thank you for attending, everyone who's still here.
Post na. 5 seconds.
Ikaw, bibitang.
Online din. For yes.
Thank you, dudes. Thank you, ma'am. You're still here.
Congratulations.
Ma'am Bea, thank you. Ma'am Steph, Ma'am Robbie. Sir
Congratulations.
Arlan. Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Good job, Elton. Good job.
Thank you po.
So, and for the winners pala, chat our president, Priscilla Lynn Fuentes, to claim your prize. Thank you. Ano ba, naka-off cam pala sila.